What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the WrestlePurists podcast, episode 42. I'm joined at this moment by Chris, Rob, soon to be joined by AO, and maybe a few more people will do run-ins throughout the show. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, we're going to talk some Dynamite. We're going to talk some news. And yeah, man, but I'm going to go around, see how the boys are doing. Chris, what you saying? You good?
Yeah, I'm straight. It's been just a regular day. Not
Yeah.
too much going on.
Yeah, man. Rob, what you saying, bro? You good?
I'm good. Just ready to get into this dynamite.
Ready
A
for
lot to say.
Dynamite. Well, yeah, the Dynamite's crazy. We'll get to it eventually, but first things first, we'll get through the news and discourse of the day. I'll start with something fairly quick because uh, we know that this isn't probably the thing that'll pop everyone in the chat the most. I don't think it's gonna pop AEW fan heavy crowd the most, but WWE seems to be bringing back Braun Strowman. PW Insider reported that he's back officially now, and he's scheduled to be at the Raw after Clash at the Castle, I believe. And yeah, man, to be honest, I get why a lot of people on Twitter kind of roll their eyes at it. He's not exactly the work rate, internet darling wrestler, but at the end of the day, from my perspective as a fan, he's 7 foot and can actually move. He looks great. And I think I was talking about it either on a podcast or Spaces or something with someone, and when you compare him to the other 7 foot people, it's like they don't really compare. Omos, Aziz, Sanga, Shanky. Um, even when you look outside of the country, outside of the company, like Bad Luck Fale, Satnam Singh. Like, if we're being 100% real, like none of these guys can even, none of these guys can talk to Braun Strowman, and whatever you want to say about him. I honestly thought towards the end of his WWE run before his release, he was actually he's kind of getting somewhere in the ring. That last match that he had, the triple threat match for the title with Drew and Bobby Lashley, was actually fucking crazy. I loved that match. And they released him, and he kind of don't fit anywhere else but WWE. I couldn't imagine he's the type of guy that would pop Tony Khan too much. But you never know what you're gonna get. So as soon as Triple H came back in, he seemed like one of the guys that you would expect to kind of kind of keep an eye on. I don't think he was as obvious as a Johnny Gargano to be coming back, but because obviously he was a big star before he got released at the WrestleMania, he literally, like, I'm sure that was a WrestleMania where he beat Goldberg for the title. And for someone to beat Goldberg at WrestleMania and then to get released that same year, it's crazy. He was released literally, as I was just saying, after a Universal title match. But yeah, man, it's good. It's kind of I get why they've signed him. He's not going to change the business or anything, but someone like Braun Strowman could definitely be useful, eat a few pins in the main event. And like I said, man, he's 7 foot and he can actually move a bit. So I don't think it's the worst signing in the world, to be honest. But Chris, what's your thoughts on the Braun Strowman back to WWE news?
I think for WWE, it's a good signing. They're pretty lacking in big man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of untalented big men in the company right now, and
Yeah.
as much like I don't like Braun Strowman, like he's not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But like compared to everyone in WWE who's a big man, people like that, he's definitely the best option they have since AEW signed Big Cass, which I want to say that played into the decision. AEW getting Big Cass before Triple H could, but it could have altered the decision a little bit. To get a monster who's known by fans, you don't have to reintroduce him that much. Just debut him, he'll get a big pop and stuff like that. His run outside WWE was like a complete failure. Horrible. Like, there's nothing notable he did that was like positive. It's just him making a clown of himself. So
Control your narrative. I'll never forget that first the first Control Your Narrative that he was in, and he had that match with EC3 that nobody that I know watched, but there was that picture of him standing over EC3 and he looked like he was kind of like crying. and it was just like, wow, bro, what was this shit, man? Like,
and then ROH, he appeared on the last ever ROH show of that
the
regimen
Titan.
for no reason. Like, for no reason, he just appeared.
EC3 jumped on the mic and was like, "Send the Titan," and fucking Braun Strowman.
Oh my, bro, that's when I was like, dang, ROH is really dead. When those two just showed up.
Right.
It was crazy, but hey, it's a cool sign for WWE. He'll do some cool things. I don't know. He'll do some. I'd have Braun Breaker beat him or something in his first feud on the main roster or something like that.
Yeah, you'd be really good in a position like that. I think help make stars. Like, could you imagine? I don't know. Braun Breaker. I know it sounds crazy, but from the stories you hear about him in the gym and shit, it wouldn't surprise me if Breaker could actually hit his finish on Braun Strowman, which would be fucking.
Maybe the spear, but
Bro,
he's not press slam on Braun Strowman.
Bro, I'm telling you that Braun Breaker's an animal. Yeah. He's an animal, bro. Yeah, there's all kinds of stories about Braun and how crazy strong and shit he is. But yeah, man, Braun Strowman's back. Rob, what are your thoughts on the big man?
Yes. No, I kind of expected it. Seeing as how people don't even realize, even besides like the control your narrative bullshit that he was doing, there were like repeated stories like every 2 or 3 weeks about this, like Braun begging and pleading, "Yo, please bring me back, please bring me back." Like he was saying, he like not them, they were calling him. It was he was calling them and saying WWE. I mean by them, basically saying like, "Please bring me back. Like I want to come back." So and plus that fucking control your narrative is like just a complete and utter fucking failure. Like that was one of the worst attempted things I've ever seen. And then now you got control your narrative in NWA now, and it's like, well, Braun's like, I don't want to fucking go to NWA. That shit is dead. So what the fuck else is there left for me to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the only him going back to WWE is the only thing kind of made sense for him. You know.
You know there's going to be somebody. They're going to have somebody drop that controlling your narratives line. I don't know who's going to drop it, but somebody's going to drop it. They always do that shit.
I'm trying to think who could drop it on him. Sounds like Seth Rollins line, but
brother.
Chris's favorite wrestler, Tyler Black. You know.
Yeah,
that sounds like a nasty feud. They had a feud, didn't they?
Seth actually gave that nigga his best match ever. Which I know that sounds insane, but
no, I think Braun's best match is the Roman Reigns ambulance match.
It's between the ambulance match, the Fastlane match they had, because I like that one too, and the Seth match.
I did not like that Seth match. I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, like Braun's a weird one because it's not like long matches. It's not like actual whole matches of his that I like, but he's just done a lot of shit during matches that has popped me in the past because it's just big, you know. But yeah, man, Braun Strowman. It looks like he's going back to WWE. Seems like we can expect to see him on Monday night. I'm sure. Yeah, the live chat don't want to be talking too much about Braun Strowman. What was I going to say? Yeah, I forgot to say at the start, like, subscribe, send super chats, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, we'll move on to we'll talk a little bit about MJF. So Dave Meltzer, he's kind of the only person that's really run with this. He seems adamant. He seems adamant that MJF is coming back soon. He wrote it in the newsletter about a week or two ago, and he mentioned something about it earlier today on the Observer Radio. So he said something in the effect of, he was talking about the casino ladder match and who the Joker could potentially be. And he said he obviously brought up MJF's name, and he brought up Tony Khan's tweet from yesterday where he said that they're going to get back to 100%. Dave was like, he wouldn't say to him like what does 100% mean, but 100% would obviously to him mean MJF, and he said that he knows that MJF is coming back soon, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, man, Chris, have you missed MJF in AEW? I think it's been 3 months today. I think I've seen something like that on Twitter today. 3 months today since MJF has been out of AEW.
Miss is not like the right word. I've seen a lot of people say how much they they're enjoying AEW television, but they just missed MJF. I'm not the biggest MJF guy. I think what he did at Double or Nothing is like some of the grimiest things in modern wrestling, business related. So I don't know. He's kind of weird. I don't think the product is lacking anything without him. But I'm not gonna sit and say like him coming back would better the product. But the product with him right now is not lacking. It's not bad. It's not derivative. It's not like missing something. But him coming back all out would definitely be a big boost to the roster. I wouldn't have him debut in the ladder match per se.
Doesn't feel right,
It doesn't. That's not something. He's not a ladder match type guy. It's a waste of the pop. I'd just debut him at the end of the Mox versus Punk match. Whoever wins that match, I just have MJF beat him at Grand Slam or something. But him coming back would be like, it would be big for the product. But I'm not here like clamoring for it. If it doesn't happen all out, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Dude, I don't think it's even. I don't think he'll actually be the Joker in the ladder match, like what Dave was speculating about. It wasn't like a full-on report or anything. The only thing that he did say that you could, I guess, take as a report is that he's coming back soon. But yeah, man, I don't think the ladder match is the right fit for him. I don't think this pay-per-view specifically is the right time. It is definitely probably been too long. They've waited for this, but I think this weekend specifically just isn't the right time for it. I wouldn't bring him out after Punk Moxley, especially. I don't know, man. It's a weird one. I do think the product has. I won't say miss, like Chris said, is kind of the probably the wrong word, but there is, he does bring something unique to the product because he's a good heel and he's kind of like a classic heel, and it's like there isn't anyone kind of quite like him. Never mind in the business, probably never mind in the company, probably the whole business is not really someone quite like MJF. He does bring something to the product, but AEW's roster's that crazy now is that if you take one person away, it's not going to affect, they can still put on great shows, whether that's MJF missing, whether that's CM Punk missing, whether that's Kenny Omega missing, all these people have been missing, Danielson, Cole, you name it. If only one of them or two of them or three of them go away, they've still got more than enough people to put on these great shows, like the shows they did last night. We got a couple super chats before we get to Rob. Young Tender, Hunter, Fish and Braun throwing it back for it.
We'll get to that.
Yo, we're gonna get to that. We're still we're kind of waiting for AO. He's having technical difficulties. He's not a professional. You're doing bad when Chris is here, sounding clear, not sounding like a robot. Then we got no AO. Backup Hangman, he ran from the grind. He's not medically cleared right now. We got a few people I sent the link to might do run-ins. We'll see what happens. But at right now, you're just dealing with us three. But we will get to Hunter's nasty business he's been up to. I'm sure there's another super chat somewhere. King of the North. Need Chris and Rob to tell us how generational Kenny Goat Mega and the young goats are after Dynamite last night.
That's all.
Well, they've done it again. It's just it's what they do. Of course, we appreciate the super chats. Oh my god! If anyone looked at the launch, we're getting hit with the fake WWE Gareth account. Crazy.
You good? You done yet,
Does
bro?
it? Does this
You
mean
done?
we're Does this mean we're an AEW stream now?
Oh God, I guess it does.
Okay. Wait, this is oh shit, free Alistair Black. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, Rob, thoughts on MJF? Do you think he'll be coming back soon? Have you missed him? When do you think would be the right time to bring him
Uh,
back? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say what Chris said. Miss is a strong word. It's one of the, it's crazy because I addressed it in the group chat, but I'm gonna address it today. I've been seeing a lot of posts from people talking about, oh, the show really misses MJF. They need MJF on the show. Nigga, stop lying. They don't need MJF on the show, but like they've done consistent millions since MJF has been gone.
Mm-hmm.
What else? They have generational shows without MJF. I'm not denying that MJF is a talented individual, but to say the show needs him is so much of an overestimate. It's not even funny. Like people talking about MJF held it down while Kenny was gone. Stop lying. Like you just need to stop lying. This is crazy. But
Yeah, like I said, man, I've always thought it's crazy to think that they need any one wrestler when they've got that kind of roster. It's a struggle to get that level of top level talent all on the shows enough as it is. So, you know, having injuries isn't the worst thing in the world. Obviously, you never really want any wrestlers to get injured, but people having time away isn't the worst in the world. Obviously, what's happened the past few months is probably a bit extreme because the list the list has been heavy. So,
yeah,
what
this
you
is
seen in the
crazy.
chat?
This is crazy, bro. This nigga doesn't give up, bro. It's insane.
Garrow.
No, but another thing I was going to say is like they said the same thing when Cody was leaving, bro. They were like AEW is finished, AEW is finished. But they done their two best buy rates since then with Revolution and Double or Nothing, and then another good buy rate with Forbidden Door. And then plus they're getting like I said with the ratings, the consistent millions. It's like, bro, they're just people just say shit to have the hot take of the week. It's not even that deep. So, but I do think that he comes back after Punk wins the title again at All Out. If Punk wins the title again,
the thing with MJF is like from a character standpoint, from a storyline standpoint, I do think he was probably at the top of the card at always delivering on those fronts. But in ring wise, there's nothing from MJF I miss. Like I'm not
right,
dying to see another MJF match. Like the
right,
best part of MJF feuds are always going to be the storylines, the promo battles he has with whoever's
Yeah,
he's
the,
feuding
the
with. But
angles and
the angles, like
right,
he has some of the best angles in the company's history. That's like
right.
a non, no, it's not a topic, but he only wrestles 2 matches a year. And I think if he comes back, bro, he's gonna have to do some more, bro, because
Right.
all the top guys wrestle. Mox wrestles every fucking week, high level matches every week, and he's the top guy of the company. He's the ace of the company. And I know MJF is not. MJF can work, right? He's a good worker. He showed that in his matches with Darby, in his matches with Jungle Boy. But for me to be like, yeah, this guy is like so much needed, but you have to put more work in the ring. You have to do more matches. You have to show that you're consistent, not just with what's outside the ring. Because I get it, everybody thinks outside the ring, charisma, promos, and all that's the most important thing of wrestling. It's very important, but when you wrestle 2 to 3 matches a year, it's like I'm not gonna call you the best wrestler in the world, bro. You have to do more than that. I don't
Right.
care about. And it's not even a draw thing. Like MJF, you're gonna draw if you have your segments. So like, what's the problem? You do segments every week. What's the problem with doing a match every couple of weeks, bro? You don't have to wrestle every week, but every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, do a match, do a tune-up match, not just against some local jobber. That's what I hope to see from MJF, and
Right.
comes back soon. Just a little more in ring availability.
Right. I was talking to one of my guys about it earlier, bro. It's like he said that he basically said the same thing because he was like, MJF is getting paid so much to wrestle 2 times. Like everybody thinks we're joking. He wrestles 2 times a year. No, he wrestles an average of like 3 or 4, maybe 5 times a year. And when he wrestles on Dynamite every 2 to 4 years, it feels like he wrestles what jobbers, like he not like Sean Dean for 2 minutes, or he wrestles a Peter Avalon and then wins in 30 seconds. It's like, bro, I get that you want to be paid, bro, but it's like Chris said, wrestle every 2 or 3 weeks, bro. It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like you wrestled a match against, I think it was Jericho on a Dynamite. I think Jericho was the final he was the final labor of Jericho. And then he won that. So then they were like, all right, give me the match back at All Out, and he wrestled it All Out. And then he wrestled a match 2 or 3 weeks later against Brian Pillman Jr. Why can't you keep doing that? Why can't you consistently do that? I don't understand.
Okay, so this year he wrestled Sean Dean on the 5th of Jan, CM Punk 2nd of Feb, CM Punk again in March, Sean Dean again in April, and obviously the Wardlow squash. So obviously the Sean Dean matches, like, they barely count, you know. So yeah, man, he's on free at the moment for this year. He's a weird one, man, because he's a big angle guy. It's like even the Sean Dean matches I mentioned, they were more angles than actual matches, you know. That's kind of like the way he does things, and it's kind of hard to criticize with how his recent feuds have gone. You know, the CM Punk and the Wardlow feuds have both been huge hits, and a lot of that has been him kind of like being avoidable in the ring. So it kind of plays into his character. But to what Chris said, like a little more wrestling from MJF would definitely help, because when you look at MJF big picture, it's been a theme for his feuds where he kind of runs off and he puts all these obstacles in the way before the person who's chasing him gets the hands on him. And it's how many
That's
times.
another thing, though.
How many times can you do it? You know?
Right. That's another thing. It's like he has the same storyline every time, whether it's the Pinnacle, whether it's the Labors. It's like you have to face these 3 or 4 guys to get to me. It's like, all right, that storyline every once in a blue moon is like, oh, that's interesting. But it's when it becomes to be every feud is you got to beat all these guys to finally get to me. It's like, okay, like he had the Labors with Jericho, and he had Punk run through Wardlow and go through FTR and go through Sean Spears, and now you can finally get to me. And it's like, all right, but how many times? So when you go over the world title, you're gonna make Hangman, or you're gonna make Punk do it all over again?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So when he comes back, he could definitely benefit from, like Chris said, wrestling, even if it's just a little more, man. Because it's how many times can you do this storyline? Like, even if you get creative with it, like they have done, and the feuds have all been pretty good, to be honest. The Chris Jericho one was a bit more divisive, but Wardlow and Punk specifically were both like great feuds. The running thing definitely made sense for the Wardlow one. So like for now, I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because that was the last one. It is really interesting to see what he wants to do when he comes back, and obviously how they use him, because we know he's a main player, and it's funny how we talk about him. It's like Chris is saying like he'd need to wrestle more before he's being called the best in the world, and it's like for him he's only he's 26, He's no longer in those conversations of like, who's the best young star in AEW. Like he's in like the real main event conversations and comparisons and shit.
Right, because and New Japan doesn't have. Well, they do have the show on Roku TV, or in Access, but like New Japan doesn't have weekly TV. But you got guys like Ospreay wrestling like 8 times in 5 days and shit like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how does MJF get called better than Ospreay if Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world? If Ospreay is the one actually wrestling,
Who said MJF was better than Ospreay?
No, I'm just saying when people talk about MJF is the best wrestler in the world. It's like, okay, you got these other guys wrestling multiple times a week. So how can you say he's the actual best wrestler in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be the best wrestler in the world if you wrestle 2 times a year. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I get the argument definitely. I'd pump the brakes on the best in the world conversations for right now anyway. But couple quick ones. I think we've got a couple super chats. Tony, $10. What match are you guys most excited to see on All Out? Chris, I'll start with you.
Probably the ladder match.
The ladder match,
to be honest. Yeah,
for
ladder
real?
match. I guess Mox. Nah, I mean, I don't know if I'm actually excited for Mox versus Punk because I have a feeling Punk's gonna win, and that's gonna dampen my day. So ladder match, or I really wish they would have gave Jungle Boy versus Christian a stipulation. That would have made it a little more like exciting for me. But
Yeah.
I guess the
I
ladder
hear you.
match. I'm excited to see who the Joker is. I have some thoughts on who the Joker is, but I don't know.
Who
Should be high paced, fun match.
do you think the Joker's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be Samoa Joe,
Yeah, that's
and
kind of
they'll
where I'm at.
do. And if it's Samoa Joe, then they're definitely gonna have Punk retain and do Joe versus Punk 5 or 4, whatever it is.
Punk's retaining, bro. Like, we'll get to it. No, not retaining. Punk's regaining. He's regaining that strap, bro. Like, he's right. It's rocky. It's rocky, bro. Like, you gotta live with it. You know, if you don't love it, I get it. You know, but that's the story to tell it. Zeke Jackson, $20. Keep doing big things. Thank you very much. We'll try. We try to be professionals, even though that's hilarious. To be honest, sometimes it's literally just me talking to a couple of blank screens. Luckily today I've got Chris with the camera. I was quite worried he wasn't going to have it today because we're missing Anna as well, which I know a lot of people who subscribe to us, everyone loves Anna's takes, and especially like a little 5 minutes of Joshy that we give her, where she just kind of gives everybody a weekly breakdown. But yeah, she's busy tonight, so wasn't able to jump on the podcast with us. So yeah, everyone tweet her, say nice things to her, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, man, Rob, what I was gonna say, what match are you most looking forward to this weekend?
On the All Out card, it's on the 0 hour, it's probably the Eddie and Ishii match, but on the main show, I guess I'll go with the same thing, the ladder match, because you got Penta, you got Phoenix, and you got all these, and you got, I think Dante's in it, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Chris should know. He's the one who's excited for it.
Yeah.
Hashtag we want Anna. We love Anna.
Wait,
here.
what did Rob ask?
Hold on, let me look.
He said, "Is Dante in the casino ladder match?" I think he is.
It's Penta, Dante, Phoenix.
Yeah, he is.
Andrade,
That's what he was in
Yeah.
the match last night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
tag teams in that match.
Yeah, bro, you got all those guys
Vito
in that match,
and
and you got Andrade, and who I guess you could consider Andrade a high flyer, but you got Claudio, and you got a couple of these guys that really aren't like 2 of these guys that really aren't high flyers like that. So you got all these guys that you got all these guys flipping around and doing all this insane shit. You can have Claudio do like his really like I'm really strong spots with some of the ladders and shit. So I feel like that's probably going to be like a candidate for match of the weekend in terms of like the wrestling that's going on this weekend. So
yeah, the casino. I'm surprised that these are. I don't know. Actually, am I surprised? Because it is just going to be like crazy and a bunch of like shit that I know pops you guys. He pops me as well, to be honest. But I don't know. I thought you would have gone for the elite trios match. Whoever they face.
Oh,
No, it's obviously they're gonna face. We forgot.
I forgot about it. It's
Kenny
definitely
Omega.
the Elite Trios match then. Yeah,
You're not love even though Kenny Omega had his compression shirt ripped off him yesterday by Ospreay. he even he was still bandaged up, so you couldn't see his abs or anything. Because you could tell he definitely looks like he's in great shape, but he didn't have his tan on either, which will make him look better. So like at all out, this nigga's gonna walk out.
Yo.
Torso, abs out. I think he's gonna be all tanned up and shit. He's gonna be trying to look as 100 as he can. So that's gonna pop me. And obviously, you know, he's arguably the greatest in-ring wrestler of all time, along with arguably the greatest in-ring tag team of all time. You know, in a be interesting to see how the match plays out. You know, the dynamic of, you know, Hangman and Bucks wrestling against each other now that they're meant to be friends now. But yeah, man, that should be. I wonder how good it will be. Because it could just be like straight 5 stars, you know. But at the same time, it's compared to the other trios matches that they've had in this tournament. You know, like Alex Reynolds, God bless him, good wrestler. He's not, you know, he's not Will Ospreay. He's not Will Ospreay, bro. John Silver, I know everybody loves him. You know, he's a pop, great guy. He's a good wrestler. Again, another good wrestler, but he ain't Andrade, bro. He ain't Dragon Lee. So it'll be interesting, you know. But it'll be very storytelling based, you know. So I guess, yeah, we'll see what they can do with it. But yeah, everyone, this is what I want people to do in the live chat. Send AO abuse.
For man's been ducking the smoke.
We had him in Gorilla. We had him backstage in Gorilla. His microphone weren't sounding too great, but we could still hear him. He said he was going to try some shit out. Then when he came back, his mic was fucked. We told him to go back to the old one, and now we can't find him. We've lost him. He's done an MJF. we've lost him. One second, let me send this message to him. Chris, Phil Dead talk about an agenda or some shit.
What was the last thing we were talking about? We had a super chat. Send a super chat asking a question or something.
I have no problem.
Yeah, we've got super chats. We've actually got a couple of super chats. God bless. Keep sending those in.
Right,
of course, we appreciate them. $5 King of the North. John Silver hot tag into attacks on Omega. Both Bucks, Cutler, and Nakazawa ringside with Don Callis outraged on commentary. Greater than everything.
The Claudio spot.
What? The Claudio spot. The crazy hot tag.
That's the one really interesting aspect about that match. I mean, because let's be honest, bro, if y'all really think it's gonna be the Elite versus the fucking best friends, you're out of your mind. Bro, that's one thing that's really like getting niggas hype about this match this weekend and one thing that's really getting me hype is it's gonna be not so much a star-making performance for Alex Button or Alex Reynolds, but fucking it's gonna be a star-making performance for fucking John Silver because John Silver is like
I don't want to do this, but I have a hot take on John Silver. I don't know if I should say it here.
You can go ahead.
I do not think John Silver is. I don't think he's as good as people perceive him to be. He's a great worker. He's really funny. I think that's the best aspect of him as a wrestler, how funny he is. But I don't think it's going to be a breakout performance with John Silver because I feel like John Silver does more. And it's not like, a problem. He does more of the same things in the matches he's with. He's going to always do the big hot spot. House of Fire, Luis Cesaro. But I don't think it's going to be a breakout performance because I feel like we've seen this same thing. We've seen him do this in a lot of other tag matches. So I don't know if it's going to be a breakout performance. I mean, it could be. He's good, but I don't think. I don't know, man.
Has he got that dog in?
I don't think he's like. I love the Beaver Boys. Like, I really do love the Beaver Boys. I love them as a team. I would not be invested in a John Silver solo run. Is what I would say. I think he's a tag guy.
Who are some names that you think are better than John Silver that you don't think most people would agree with? Well, not necessarily agree with, but because you said you don't think you think he's good, but he's just not as good as what some people think he is. So I'm trying to figure out where you actually think he's at.
I won't say that. I was gonna say something crazy, but I will not say that.
Yo, this.
I think everyone who I think is better than him, people would agree is better than him. Like, I just see him as a really slightly above average wrestler. You know, nothing. It's like really nothing against him. It's just as a solo guy, and a lot of people want to see him do a solo run. That's just not something I would look forward to. And I love Johnny Hungy. I think the gimmick's really funny, but
hold on. Sorry, Chris. I blocked that WWE Gareth account out of the chat because it was just getting too much, sort of thing. And he's back. He's back, bro.
It's multiple accounts, probably.
It's not Michael Myers, bro.
No, he does. No. He has multiple accounts. I was watching a different YouTube channel here. I think it was Double or Nothing Live or Revolution Live, and he joined their chat, and they blocked him and banned his chats, and he just came in on a completely different account. So he's not.
If you want to send super chats, I'll keep him around, bro. You know. All he's saying is free. I don't know who he's saying free. He's saying free everybody. He's saying free everybody, bro.
You don't get free opinions around here.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? We got another super chat. Young Bender. World speculation, but Ibushi for Joker. Bro, could you imagine?
I think he's still hurt.
He's been injured. Yeah, look, I said in our group chat the other day, it's been someone else was speculating about Ibushi potentially being on the card, not as the joke, but just on the card somewhere, or coming out as a surprise at the end or something. It's literally the last thing we heard about is that his arm wasn't recovering well at all. And I think he separated his shoulder, and if that's not recovering well, there's probably not much wrestling you can do, to be perfectly honest. But hopefully he recovers soon. I would personally pop like crazy if Ibushi walked out at All Out or on a Dynamite or anything like that. If he came out as a Joker and went into a ladder match from coming back from a separated shoulder, that would be, we all know Ibushi's crazy. Ibushi's crazy, so I don't even know if it would be that surprising. It wouldn't. We got Manny in the house. I sent him the link earlier. He's doing a run-in. We're back to 4 people. What's good, Manny?
Doing all right. How about you guys?
Yeah, man, we're good. We're good. We're getting through these. Getting through some super chats because that's what we're doing now. We've made it. We got those. We got those 1,000 subscribers. We get super chats now. It's the big leagues, man. American Dragon. Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, American Dragon 98, $2. Brian Jericho going to be the best match at All Out. It's Brian Danielson, so it's never that. Yeah, it's never that bad of a bet when you say Brian Danielson is going to have the best match on the card. Obviously Jericho in his own right is great, but we're talking about what your name says, American Dragon. So
literally the words Brian Danielson is like an auto 4+ star match. So it's not even.
Yeah, you see that shit that he done with Higa last night? Like, come on, bro. Manny, since we've already spoke about it, I know for a fact you've got no thoughts on Braun Strowman joining WWE. But
No,
you got any thoughts on MJF potentially coming back as the Joker or just soon in general?
This is crazy.
hey man, fuck it, man. I don't care as long as WWE doesn't have him.
Sounding like a jealous ex or something. If AEW can't have him, no one can have him.
He's our problem,
Yeah, let Tony deal with him. Pay him so use Tony's money to keep him happy.
I told y'all he has multiple accounts. We were just gonna.
What is he back?
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to get through these super chats, man. I'm just gonna ignore him for a minute. Jennifer, love the panel as always, but Hangman and Anna are missed. Yeah, of course they are. You know, we miss them. Maybe not so much Hangman. You know, everyone else gets to speak this week. You know, Anna, of course, she's a big draw for us. You know, Monty, what match are you most looking forward to? Punk Moxley, honestly. Obviously, we'll get to it pretty soon as well when we get to the Dynamite review. But that segment last night with CM Punk and A Steel was like just straight up magic, bro. I'm not going to get carried away now, but I'm not going to turn into backup Hangman right now either. But that match, 100% is the match I'm most looking forward to. Got any more super chats before block?
Yo,
I don't even know how to create. I don't even know how to set up moderators. Like, people are asking me like, "Oh, let me be a moderator," and I was like, "I don't know how to do it."
Yo, that's fun. That's pretty crazy.
Oh my god, pulling up getting racist. There's racism in the live chat, people. This is not good.
I shouldn't have left at the last one, but that was funny.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's
The things we put up with, you know. You see, once we make it, people get racist. They don't want to see niggas shiny. So it's just what it is. You see, like we're the only, like, you know. Well, nah, actually, that's a straight up lie. I was gonna say we're the only black wrestling platform, which we're definitely not. But you know, there's not many of them. You know,
We're the best.
so yeah, we're obviously we're the best. You know. That's why everyone's here. If
but we automatically
There's a lot of
have,
good
like,
ones though.
yeah, man, shout out all of them because, you know, he is a scene dominated by, you know, the white man. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's nothing that I get like crazy angry about or jealous about or anything. But, you know, not about to get into some big racial discussion right now either. So, Tony L, $10. If you could trade one AEW wrestler for another wrestler from any company, who would it be? It has to be a fair trade. I'll start with you, Manny, because you've just got here. What would be your one trade? Where's Chris?
He's coming back.
I don't know who's a fair trade for Roderick Strong.
You want Roderick Strong. That you can get any wrestler in the world in AEW. You think, yeah, get Roddy.
Yeah. You know, just like I said yesterday, bro, I was just like, imagine like Roderick Strong wrestling the Elite and him just doing backbreakers to Matt Jackson.
Matt Jackson selling that funky back that he's had for fucking 10 years. Yeah, man.
You can't trade
Right.
Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish already went down the toilet, so you know.
Okay, so who would you offer? Who from AEW would you offer for Roddy?
Hager.
Hey, that's not, bro. It's not a fair trade.
Bro,
That is a fair trade.
That's not, bro. Roderick Strong is like good, you know. Yeah, Hager's aight, you know.
He has 5 stars.
Yeah, no, but there was like another 9 people in the match, so you know.
No.
Brian Pillman.
Bro, no. I'm gonna pretend I'm Triple H right now.
No, you saying
yeah,
no?
I'll pretend I'm Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H would say yeah.
No,
he
wouldn't. No way. I don't think
that's
he
a
likes.
good
You're
trade.
forgetting he likes
That's a good
Roddy
one right there. Roddy and Chad Gable for Ricky Starks and Sammy. Whew. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'd probably take that. I'll take you up on that offer. I think. I reckon I reckon we could work something out with Sammy in WWE. Ricky Starks, as you guys already know, really big fan of Ricky Starks. Yeah, I'll take that offer. There you go. Rob, who would your trade be if you could have anyone outside of AEW and bring them in, but you have to trade someone and make it fair? Who would you do?
I would trade. Dang, bro, this is tough. Probably Roddy for.
You don't hear me?
You want Roddy as well? What is it? What the fuck?
No,
you can have Okada.
Because I know. Because listen, I'm not in the know like that, but I know that they're gonna try to do some sort of shitty tag team with Bobby and Roddy. So to shit on Bobby, I want them to trade Roddy for like Kip Sabian or some shit. So they can so that way Bobby
not
have to
fair.
team. Nah, bro.
That's not a fair trade.
It's not a fair trade.
We'll send him Morrissey.
Get rid of Morrissey.
No, but like
straight away.
being that ass, Roddy for man, there's so many good guys.
Why does everyone want Roddy? I don't like. I love Roddy,
Because, look,
but this is
literally,
popping me
Monty,
huge. You know,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we get New Japan wrestlers because they're gonna show up on AEW no matter what. So why are we gonna spend a trade for?
they're not gonna. Yeah, but every week is a different. You know,
but you don't want Okada on TV every week.
If you could trade one,
I do. I'd have Okada on TV every week.
I'd trade Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter for Sasha Banks.
That's a good trade. I didn't think about that.
Sasha was probably the person I was thinking of as well, to be honest.
I think you need to trade like 5 women for Sasha.
Well, yeah, you probably could, but
yeah, you probably have to.
Britt would arguably be a star in WWE. You know, she's whatever. I just want Sasha, so I think that's a fair enough trade.
Ethan Page and Scorpio for Roddy.
I'm trying to think. I don't know who I'd go for. I don't know. If I was Tony Khan, I'd probably want Sasha, but I don't know who I'd want to give away for Sasha. And make it fair at the same time. Yeah. Because all of AEW's top stars are the men, to be honest, whereas WWE, they've got a lot more women kind of in the mix towards the top of their like top stars. Whereas like in AEW, the only people you could say like are even in that conversation are Britt and Jade. Honestly, don't know. I do think I'd want Sasha, but I'd probably give WWE.
You can also trade male wrestlers for female wrestlers. I think Sasha has a lot of value that you could give away a top male star for.
Is Manny laughing at racism again?
No, it's just this guy keeps just coming back up, bro. It's crazy.
How is he back, bro? How did he come? Listen, I'm gonna find out how to make someone a moderator. Where's Israel? We need to get Israel. She said she'll be a moderator. Anyway, I'd trade, I don't know, Sasha Banks for MJF or some shit. You know, MJF's probably gonna go WWE one day anyway. So fucking let's just fucking
or just do Sasha. Or just do Sasha. Yeah, just do Sasha for Ricky.
Nah, that's not fair.
Not a fair trade.
That's not fair. Y'all niggas don't think that's fair? Like what?
Nigga, Ricky Starks. You think Ricky Starks is on Sasha's? Man, get out of here.
I just want that nigga gone, bro. Like,
MJF, even MJF is cheeky, you know. MJF isn't fucking Sasha Banks, bro. You know, but you could maybe get away with it. You know, that's who I'd try anyway.
Respect the racist hustle.
I have no idea this man AO is coming. Because I know he wants to rant on Bobby Fish, and so do I. So I'm gonna know if what's the situation right now.
I'm about to say,
because
if y'all haven't noticed, like we've definitely been trying to stall time.
Yeah, we're trying to like maneuver around the subjects we know AO wants to go off on, which is Bobby Fish, and Triple H. I don't even know why he wants to talk about Triple H. I think he's just got some heat for it. Because he messaged me earlier, like, what are we talking about on the podcast tonight? And I told him, like, yo, Braun, Bobby, Dynamite, we'll talk a bit about the pay-per-views on the weekend. And this nigga's tweeting on the timeline, like, yo, I got some shit for Triple HGH. I was like, yeah, let's go. Well, yo, make me a mod, Monty. See, I can't.
How do you?
All I can do from this end on StreamYard is block people, so I'll have to moderate myself. So if the chat just keeps doing what it's doing and letting me know that he's in here, I can just keep blocking him. But yeah, obviously we keep bringing it up, which isn't, ideal. But we are definitely skating around, not talking about Bobby Fish and what was the other thing? Bobby Fish and Triple H. But I think we might as well just start the Dynamite review, to be honest. But yeah, man, for overall, what did you think of Dynamite? We'll kind of start with that, to be honest. Rob, what did you kind of think of Dynamite last night? I thought it was a great episode, to be honest.
I love Dynamite last night. Aos, oh shit. Aos said just do the pod because he can't find a mic. Fuck.
He just uses AirPods. I don't know what's up.
He said when we were backstage and when he said when I said can y'all hear AO, he said he was screaming into the AirPods.
Well, I meant on his phone, to be honest.
The first time he came in, he said shit and it didn't sound amazing, but you could still hear him. And then he went to try to fix it. He came back and we couldn't hear him at all. But yeah, technical difficulties. Like we said, AO's an unprofessional.
Well, I can't be here that long either. I just came here to say what's up.
You know, Manny's much more professional anyway, so you know. We are.
Well, I can't be here that long.
Yeah, well, you're here now. You know, you're stuck. Before we start the Dynamite review, Hollywood Hangman's personal assistant, who we don't actually know who he is, which makes this even funnier. Can someone get in touch with Hangman for me? The last 2 paychecks he gave me bounced and he ain't answering me.
I don't know why he's giving him money to us, little bro. Hey.
Yo, I'll pass on the message. I'm sure we don't mean it. But yeah, Dynamite last night, it opened up with the John Moxley promo. He kind of came out. Crowd, obviously it's in Chicago. The crowd, you know, they were kind of chanting CM Punk at him. There were a few boos out there, but you know, overall, they still popped for him when he first came out because you know it's John Moxley. There's only so much you could do. But as soon as he started getting on the mic, he started talking about CM Punk. I think he said something to the effect of when the crowd was chanting to CM Punk, he was like, "I know you love your boy, but I think they're still mopping him up off the floor in Cleveland." From there, you kind of knew where it was going. He just carried on taking more shots at CM Punk. Said that CM Punk folded. Basically said he ain't got that dog in him.
Right.
Said sorry, Chicago. He isn't who he thought he was. And then he kind of left an open contract in the middle of the ring and was like, I don't give a shit who he is. Because I'll kill anyone, basically. And after this, Ace Steel comes out, friend of CM Punk, and he kind of just picks up the contract and kind of walks off. Didn't make a very big deal of it. But Rob, what did you think of the Moxie promo to open the show?
I thought it was great. I thought everything he said about Punk was true. He said that Punk don't got that dog in him. Punk was not ready. What else did he say? He was like Punk. He said Punk was just a scared little boy and lost. And you know, he was right. He was right about everything that he said. The one thing about the open challenge to me, which he had a great promo, but this is I feel like because they did this on NXT a couple weeks ago. Melo issued an open challenge, and while one guy was coming out to answer it, they had Ben Carter just like run in front of him and take it, and that was a really an aspect of an open challenge that I really like. I just don't understand like why when we have open challenges do people just like let it sit there?
Yeah,
like he left the contract in the middle of the ring. You would think like a fucking Cesar Bononi would try to fucking run to the ring and try to grab the contract or some shit. You know, and I'm not saying he deserves a title shot, but you know, you gotta when you do open contracts, you know, at least make the open contracts, you know, seem like everybody wants a shot at the title. You know what I mean? They'll just leave it in the middle of the ring and nobody tries to come get it. But I all in all, I did love the promo. He's probably the best promo in the company.
Yeah, straight up. The actual promo itself was, you know, great, to be honest. The way that, you know, obviously with it being Chicago, kind of like Punk did last week, and kind of like what Punk did before he went to Cleveland. It's like he kind of leaned on, you can't even say it's leaning heel because he's just making shots at the guy that he's feuding with. I think that's kind of where a few people have kind of got lost in this CM Punk stuff, thinking that he's definitely turning heel right now. because he hasn't actually done anything to hint towards that, other than he mentioned a few WWE guys. He didn't even mention them by name. He was just making shots at Jon Moxley. But yeah, man, the promo itself, it was a great promo. But the actual angle itself, like Rob said, it was a bit, kind of open contract thing. But it fixed itself in the end. Obviously, we'll get there. But Chris, what did you think of the Moxley promo?
Great promo. Mox, like he said, is the heart and soul of AEW. As long as Mox is there, I feel like it'll be a good program. No matter who he's working with. I think his promo skill. I've always thought he's been a good promo since he's left WWE. There was a time where he would just like kind of scream and say, "We'll go into war, brother," stuff like that. Even though I even like that. I like that type of stuff. But I think like he elevated his promo game so much as he elevated his character. And I think with having simple characters, because Mox's character is fairly simple, he just likes to fight and wrestle, that you have to have top tier promo game to make your character come together. And Mox has that. It was a great promo. CM Punk can't touch him on the mic, no matter what anybody says. I legit don't think CM Punk. He doesn't have the fire. He doesn't have the intensity that Mox has on the mic. He
This
just
ain't
doesn't.
this ain't the day to be saying.
What you mean?
Wait,
why is he wrong?
He doesn't have it in him
bro,
to be Mox on the mic.
Why are you saying he's lying? He's not lying.
I didn't say he's lying, bro. He's just giving his opinion, isn't he? He's not lying. He's just
Punk
giving
is
his
a great
thought,
promo. Mox is just better.
Right.
Yeah, well, no, but I started shaking my head when he started saying CM Punk ain't got the fire or the intensity or anything. Like after that angle last night, it just ain't the day to be dropping those claims. If you think Moxley's a better promo than Punk, like at the end of the day, like I just said, it's his opinion. He can think whatever he wants. But yeah, like I said, to be talking about intensity and like fire and shit like that, I just don't think today is just not the day to talk that on CM Punk. But Manny, what was your thoughts on the Jon Moxley promo that opened the show when he presented the open contract?
Moxley's that dude, bro. He's awesome. He made that Chicago crowd his. It's fucking awesome. And nothing much about it. He didn't need a steal to make himself seem bigger than life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did really play into the crowd. It was a good point to bring up, to be fair. He played really well into it, obviously, because it's obvious that they're going to be pro CM Punk, and he leaned into that pretty much perfectly.
Just, like if you watch earlier, bro, when he went out there, he cut that promo. When CM Punk came out later on, they weren't fucking with him at all, and that's because
bro, there was a lot of there was layers to that, man. Again, I'll keep saying we'll get to it. I'm almost like a child to keep bringing it up, but yeah, man.
Still better than the Chicago Merchant. But anyways, what were you finna say, Monty?
Just gonna move it on. Obviously, like I said, Ace Steel grabs the contract. He disappears. Then we're backstage with Chris Jericho. He's cutting a promo on Bryan Danielson, and he said something like, said that Danielson said that Stu and Owen Hart might have enjoyed Danielson's technical ability in the ring and stuff like that more than Jericho. But Stu and Owen definitely would have appreciated what Jericho's done in the business more than what Bryan's done in the business. And then he's interrupted by Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia pledges his allegiance to the Jericho Appreciation Society, and yeah, man, that's what we got there with that one. But there isn't really too much to say on that because the big angle for Garcia comes a bit later in the show. Next up, we had Bryan Danielson versus Jake Hager, and it's actually insane what Bryan Danielson's able to get out of anyone, to be honest. I think he could have a good fatal five-way with us four in here. And, Jake Hager's not a bad wrestler or anything, but he's not exactly someone that you put on the spreadsheet and give a bunch of stars to that often. But I just love these Bryan Danielson performances, man, where he just gets the shit kicked out of him, and all of a sudden he makes you think that he's dead. Then he fights from underneath, and he does an epic comeback, and he's just the GOAT. You know, it's Bryan Danielson. But Chris, what were your thoughts on the Danielson Hager match? Chris, we lost him. Technical difficulties on this podcast,
bro. Man, you guys see like Hager's gear, bro? Every time he comes out, it's ridiculous. Every time. I can't believe they let him go. I can't believe they let him go out there with that.
He's a shooter, bro. You know, that's what we got.
Just him having AEW right above his like nuts and stuff like that, just crazy to me. Like, it just looks so weird out of place. Like, it doesn't even match any of the cheetah print that he was wearing.
Yeah, so he's all crazy colors and shit, pink.
Yeah,
you know. But obviously Chris is dropped out again. I'm sure he'll be back again. Manny, what did you think of Bryan versus Hager?
It was awesome. They were just like throwing live rounds at each other. Sometimes Danielson started throwing kicks, and like it was just so funny just watching like Hager just trying to sell some kicks, and then that table bump was pretty cool too. I honestly thought like when he grabbed his head, I said, "Oh fuck, bro, there you go. We're not gonna get the Jericho match again." But yeah, everything about that match was awesome. Danielson rules. He's a GOAT, and Hager's awesome too. 4-star merchant now.
Yeah, man. It's funny because then Danielson held his head after that table spot. They've done the replay, and it was like he didn't shake his head or anything at all. It's just a Danielson, man. Anytime he like even sours his head the littlest bit, like he just knows how to. He knows how to play his audience, man, and that's why he's so great at selling. Like I said, he just makes you think that he's dead. Like, especially in these sort of matches, he just makes you think he's dead in the ring.
Yeah.
Rob, what was your thoughts on Danielson Hager match?
I actually really liked it. It just goes to, you know, there's a thing that I really hate, and it's a stigma that I really hate, that certain guys get quote unquote carried. And I'm not saying like Hager is the best worker ever, but it's like we've seen Bryan try to do these type of big man versus little man matches with guys like Big Cass, and this is before Big Cass, you know, went and did his own indie run or whatever, yada yada yada. But you've seen him do the match that he had with Cass was, I know his other stuff was literally so bad that they fired him the next night. You know what I mean? So there's like, it literally needs to stop being this whole stigma of, oh, you know, certain guys carries other guys. Yes, he carried him through the match in terms of like psychology and everything, but also a guy has to have a certain level of talent to be able to keep up with guys like Danielson. And Hager went out there and had the talent to keep up with Danielson. It was I like the whole stuff.
Disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree. You bringing up the Big Cass match is not a good thing to bring up, because that's Daniel Bryan. That's Daniel Bryan. That's WWE Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson. He cannot work the same way he can work in AEW.
Yeah.
And that Big Cass was like, it was a hard time in Big Cass's life there. He was like going through a lot of shit. Like Bryan Danielson carried this match to a really good match. It would have been a very decent match if he didn't carry him, but like the thing is, he did carry him. I think Jake Hager is a very decent worker. You put him in the ring with a good person, and he can have a good match. But that match is not going to be the same if it's Wheeler Yuta versus Jake Hager. You know what I'm talking about? And Wheeler's a really good wrestler, but Danielson's arguably the best of all time, behind Omega, of course. So I won't say Hager got carried, but he definitely got, I don't know, what's another word for carry that's not that harsh?
Guided through.
Yeah,
Danielson guided him to a really good match.
Right, and that's the term that we should like with guys like these, where like they got guided through instead of like they got carried, because carried implies that he's like bad, he can't wrestle at all, type shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I thought Hager did really good in the match. Like Chris just said, if that match was with Wheeler Yuta, I don't think and Wheeler is really, really good, but I don't think it's going to be as good as it was last night.
Yeah, that's the levels in it. Like Bryan Danielson, like Wheeler Yuta is great. You know, everyone here likes Wheeler Yuta. We all enjoy him. He's a really, really good wrestler. It's actually quite outrageous how it's outrageous how good he is for his age as well. But like Brian Danielson's
there
just,
is a horrible
Danielson.
storm right now, so just keep that in mind.
Chris,
I'm in Texas
Chris
right
gonna go. Chris gonna turn into Iron Man again.
It might get nasty.
But you know, it just adds, and that just adds to Brian's case of being the greatest American wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
So, you know,
He's still adding to that resume, man. He's got the craziest resume, like, arguably ever. To be honest, he's been a tremendous wrestler for the past 20 years. So,
wait, I just realized you guys have been on for an hour.
Yeah. We were
What'd
stalling.
What'd you guys talk about for the first hour?
We were stalling and taking questions from the super chats because we were waiting for AO to come back.
That's what you did for an hour?
Yes.
Well,
but news always takes us about an hour. It always does, to be honest. And we didn't even go through it all. So,
what
that, Chris?
What happened, Chris?
I was saying we were just going through the Braun Strowman stuff at the beginning.
My God, an hour on Braun Strowman.
No, Braun Strowman, MJF. We got a lot out of MJF, you know. Got a lot out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the Higa Danielson matches, all the brawling, the Appreciation Society obviously attacked Danielson. Then Cesaro and Yuta, I think it was just Cesaro and Yuta came out and they kind of helped out Danielson. And then there was a point where Jericho ran down with the chair and he was going to hit Danielson. And then who comes out? Obviously, Daniel Garcia comes out and he stops Jericho from hitting Danielson with the chair. Jericho and Garcia start arguing. And then when Jericho turns around, bang, flying knee from Danielson. And kind of not looking too great for Garcia, to be honest. Where do you think this is all going to go? Do you think Garcia is going to join a Combat Club? Do we think he's going to stick with Jericho? Do we think he's going to go off on his own? Like, what do we think Garcia is going to do by the end of this weekend? I'll start with you again, Manny.
We'll go with Garcia.
What was that?
What were you gonna say again? My bad.
What do you think? What do you think Garcia is going to do by the end of this weekend? Do you think he's going to stick with Jericho, Danielson, and go by himself? What do you think?
Honestly, if they do all this just for him just to be back with Jericho again, what a waste. Making him popular. So I kind of hope that he goes on his own, because I feel like it's a cool thing, because I feel like there's not that many people or cool guys that are on their own, because that's like the best thing you can do right now, because you don't need him to be with Yuta, like another sidekick anymore. Like, he's far surpassed being a sidekick. He's like his own main event guy. So I hope that's what happens.
Yeah, man. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. It has to be something pretty significant to make all this worth it, like you said. If he just goes with Jericho now, it's just a bit like, you know, what are we doing? Rob, what do you think? What do you think Garcia is gonna do by the end of this weekend?
Seeing as how, because I think there were already 5 guys in the JS, if I'm not mistaken. It was Jericho. It's Jericho 2.0, which is like 2 guys. Jake Hager and Garcia,
and Sammy.
So and then Sammy. So that's like 6 or 7 guys, right? That's probably 6.
And a J.
Yeah, and a J. So it's like versus the Blackpool Combat Club, who has like 4 guys in it. So I think Garcia being added to the Blackpool Combat Club, which I don't think this storyline is going to continue after this pay-per-view. I think after this pay-per-view is finally going to be done, or they're probably going to do a final match. No, it's not going to be done, because they're doing Garcia versus Yuta next week. But I think after that, and then they finally do the tie-up with Jericho versus Garcia, I think Garcia will be joining the Blackpool Combat Club.
It seems like what really makes sense. I think it is worth going bringing up the idea that he might just go by himself. That would be a pretty ballsy move. Probably not what I'd go with myself, but I guess it's pretty interesting to think of. Surely not. He's surely not going back with Jericho. That seems pretty impossible at this point, to be honest. even if they do it in a way where it's like a big swerve, it's just kind of like, what next, you know? But yeah, hopefully we get Garcia in. I think it'd be weird having him in the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm not sure, even though it seems like the obvious fit when the group first started. But now that they've already added Claudio, they've already added Yuta, they've already obviously got Moxley Danielson. It's just kind of a.
Well, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, oh, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was saying you can make Yuta and Garcia the tag team of the group if you really want to.
That is true.
But I don't know if they'd want to do that.
Because people
don't have a tag team in there, unless you count Claudio and Yuta, who are teasing a tag team against FTR.
Yeah, because I thought Danielson and Mox were going to be the tag team at first, but apparently not.
Well, I mean, all those guys need a kid. Cooked. Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, it's not as good as it was, but you survive it just about. Next in the show, boom. Let's get to it. Broad. Okay, so we cut to the ring and the wingmen are in the ring and cutting a promo about wanting more TV time or some shit like that. I don't know what they were talking about, bro, but I was just the whole time they were on my TV, I was wondering why they're on my TV, to be honest. Go home show before pay-per-view, and then out comes W. Morrissey.
Yeah.
He didn't really answer my questions, to be quite honest. But if the rumors are true, but WWE was also interested in Morrissey, which then led to Tony Khan wanting Morrissey even more, and this was just kind of more of a dunk part. But even still, man, like this is the go home show for a pay-per-view. This could have maybe waited till next week, but you know, Morrissey obviously comes out, he destroys the wingman. Stokely gives him his card. I think we've lost Chris again. That Storm's kicking the shit out of him. We're getting the shit kicked out of us today, man.
What I say, bro? Like, dang, bro.
This is. I'm gonna retitle this technical difficulties. So straight up, bro. That's all it's been today. Well, yeah, man. W. Morrissey is debuted again in AEW. Took out the wingman, lined up with Stokely. Does anyone have any sort of opinion on this?
We were watching last night. We were watching it. We were watching with Hangman, right? And so we were literally watching, and he like paused it, and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this on my television screen? Like, yo, why are we coming back from commercial break and all of these niggas standing here in the middle of the ring?" And I'm like, I had the same thought process too. I was like, "What is going on? Like, why are these guys in the middle of the ring?" All of a sudden, like this music hits. I popped for Morrissey. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Yeah, let's go." These technical difficulties for WrestlePurists or like injuries for AEW, absolutely.
Yeah, we're getting the shit kicked out of us, bro. Like,
this is insane, bro.
We'll be back. We're doing the I think we're doing the post Clash at the Castle show.
We're definitely.
So you know, you
are you guys doing you doing a post show for All Out?
I don't know, but you wanna? It's time for me over here will be crazy. It'll be like 4, 5, 6 a.m. for me over here. Whereas Clash at the Castle, it will be it won't be as bad because it starts so early. But yeah, we're doing at least 2 shows this week because we're looking to do a Clash at the Castle post show. Backup Hangman will be back on that. It's kind of his idea, to be honest. Then we might do an all out post show as well, or someone will do a space or some shit. So
yeah,
you know, we can deal with the technical difficulties. We'll get through this review. We'll talk about the weekend and shit. And yeah, man. So yeah, W. Morrissey. There's not really too much to add. I guess he's just
Oh no, yeah. Oh wait, what happened? No, because I
was just gonna say Morrissey's kind of like their WWE Braun signing, you know. 7-foot guy. But I'd say Braun is probably better because he just looks bigger and he's probably a little bit better in the ring. But who knows, considering he's been with Control Your Narrative for so long. He could be complete garbage now, to be honest.
Morrissey was awesome. Morrissey was good against Wardlow.
He was good in Impact. He was pretty good in Impact.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I might be over for the camera for today.
Chris, you got any thoughts on W. Morrissey?
I think he's in tremendous shape.
Yeah.
I know people are saying he's doing really well in his personal life now. DDP works wonders. He needs like a Nobel Wrestling Peace Prize or something for what he's done with all these wrestlers, with all these like problems. He's worked on himself a lot. I don't watch Impact, but I've seen some clips. I don't know if he was doing good stuff at Impact or not. He was just powerbombing Chelsea Green and stuff, so he's good in my book. I like how they debuted him, just making him look like a monster, just destroying all these dudes. I don't know what Stokely is cooking with his faction at all, but if anyone can make it work, Stokely halfway can make it work. So
yeah.
You know,
what was that shit on Twitter earlier about his account getting locked? Was that a real thing?
No, he deactivated.
He deactivated.
It looked like it got locked at first, but then it got. I don't know. At first, it looked like it was locked, and then you look back and I don't know, something crazy happened.
Yeah, but
I think he's teasing something with the gimmick because you know how he freaked out on Tony Schiavone. I don't know, something like that.
There's one more guy left, right? That he has to add.
No, I think Morrissey was the last guy.
Yeah, Morrissey was the last guy, and I don't remember the Twitter user, so please forgive me if it's anybody in here. But somebody made a really good point last night. Like when Diamond Mine first came around, it was Roddy and the Creeds, and there was I think there was just those three. Nobody was fucking with Diamond Mine at all. And Stokely just being so charismatic and being so good at what he does kind of turned people around and it made them care about the Diamond Mine. So I know what everybody's saying, like, what is he cooking with this faction? But I think he's going to do the same thing for whatever this faction, I guess Stokely Enterprises or whatever this is going to be called. But yeah,
we'll see what he's cooking because, like you said when we started, it's like, what is Stokely cooking with this faction, bro? But Stokely's done enough good shit, I guess, that we can kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. But just to quickly run through the group, I think it's Lee Moriarty, Gun Club,
Ethan Page,
yeah, that's the one. Ethan Page and W. Morrissey. So that's the 4 acts, 5 guys. Interesting because obviously he's got the. What do you think will happen with the baddies? Like, is he like? What are we doing? You know?
I don't know. Maybe Jay just didn't fuck with him.
No, he was in the promo with
Jay. Yeah, he was
on Friday.
Will he be for much longer? You know what I mean? Like where?
I think he's going to continue being with Jade as her. What is he to her?
I've seen this a couple times on Twitter, yeah, and I just need to say, this ain't it, bro.
No, stop. Whatever you niggas are cooking up on your Wattpad fan fictions or whatever the fuck it is you're cooking, you need to stop. It needs to stop. It has to stop. Please don't. That shit is nasty.
I think it's more just this, like what Charlie said. TK sure loves his throw together factions. You know, like just trust busters. Like he just obviously this is a lot more, you know, higher on the card than the trust busters. Not trying to offend anybody, but
I can't wait to see this faction on East Penn Strong.
Yeah, just a throw, just thrown together, man. But yeah, the MJF stuff, please no, you know. I'm not trying to see that anytime soon. Next up, we had something that popped me because I'm a bit of an old fuck and I'm a simple man, and it was a locker room interaction between Will Ospreay and Don Callis. Don Callis comes over and he kind of compliments Ospreay, says that he's been watching him and you know he's impressed by everything he's done. At one point, he even calls him Will Bodyguard Ospreay, which might be telegraphing something that happens in the distant future. We never know. But yeah, man, I like this. I like this. I like this quite a lot. It was simple. It wasn't very long, but it was just. It was these are sort of interactions that I want to see on the show, man. It just felt kind of like a natural, like what you would expect to see happen between Don Callis going and sneaking around and kind of getting Will Ospreay's head a little bit. I like this. Chris, what was your thoughts while we've got you here before you disappear again? Or was it gone again?
I thought I look. Am I?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm right here, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah. I was saying that Don Callis adds a lot to AEW television.
Yeah.
I really like how AEW recently have been doing a lot of more segments. Like they cut down the matches, like 6 matches a card for 2 hours is just way too much. So them doing more segments.
Oh, wow.
Yo, bro, you've gone crazy, bro.
Wait, Chris, do you just turn your Wi-Fi off?
It needs to do something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's doing the robot thing. Just turn the Wi-Fi off. You'll probably be good. It was good for the first like hour and a half.
Yeah, man. We're hour and 20 minutes in. We're already doing well, even though we've had our difficulties, we've had no shows, we've had a lot of unprofessionalism going on. But we're still King of the North supporting with the group chat. Does Don Callis turn on Omega like Gator turned on Okada, attaching himself to the next big thing while his current guy might be on the downswing? That's what I was kind of alluding to earlier when I was saying kind of telegraphing something that might happen in the distant future. Because obviously Kenny Omega is, if he's not already, he's eventually going to be a full-fledged, like, complete babyface with the Bucks. Obviously Don Callis as an act, I don't think it doesn't really fit him to play that role at all. So it's just a matter of when, not if, of when Don Callis kind of either just quietly leaves or they do a big angle and he turns on him, etc., etc. Will Ospreay, for the reasons that King of the North has said, obviously makes a lot of sense. But yeah, man, I could see that happening.
Can I be heard?
Yeah, you can
yes,
be heard.
Cannot be heard.
This podcast right now is very scuffed, but I'm gonna power through just so I can talk about Kenny Omega at the end of the show.
Oh God,
that's all you need. That's all we need. You know what I mean?
But yeah,
we could have easily done a 30-minute podcast where I'll just talk about the Punk segment for a bit, and I'll just let you kind of run wild with the Elite. I can do that shit. Well, at least we've got Robot Chris back for a moment.
Shout out
what
to
next?
King of the North for sending out these super chats.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
man. We always appreciate the super chats. Even if yeah, of course. Always keep sending them. Subscribe if you've not already subscribed. Obviously, subscribe. Like this video if you haven't already, and of course, if you can send in the super chats, those are always massively appreciated. Next up on AEW, on Dynamite, we had Britt and Jamie versus Tony and Shida. I love this match. I thought it was go on.
Did you go around, or we pushing through because with the Will Ospreay? Because I was gonna say something.
If you got a take, get it off. Get your take.
I was gonna real quick. Yeah, real quick. I think they should keep doing like these, not WWE style locker room segments, but I think they should keep doing them, but just do them better. And this is obviously done better. So
this was a good little minute of TV. It was. It helped build to the eventual main event, and it could build towards something long term as well. It was really well done, man. Don Callis is great. Like Chris said, I think he's just great to have on TV. But yeah, Britt and Jamie versus Tony and Shida. I personally loved this. It was in a nice slot because I think if it would have went after the Punk sheet or just before the trios match at the end, I think it could have affected it negatively. But Britt Baker, for all the shit we give her, I'm here again saying that it pops me when she, she isn't scared to get whacked in the face. She isn't scared to take a bump. It's probably one of the probably my favorite thing about her as an in-ring wrestler is that she, she's game. She's a gamer. Jamie Hayter decided to headbutt the floor off a Rana bump. She'd have drop kicked. She'd have drop kicked Britt Baker in the face, and the final stretch was legitimately pretty great, to be honest. She'd have pinned Britt Baker, so I know a lot of people are kind of scared that Britt Baker's going to win the title on Sunday now. But do we have any thoughts on this match?
The unknown. Put some respect on Ari Daivari. He's the one making the matches, not Omega.
Well,
Owned.
Omega puts. I don't care. Appreciate you, Ari, but Omega shadow booked it. So
shadow booked.
The Omega definitely.
Ari Daivari is a really good producer. He was also producing matches in WWE that got over well. He's a really good producer. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I know people were like, "Why is he signed?" 205 Live merchant Tony Khan. So these guys have more jobs behind the scenes than just, he's a great producer. This match is really good. These multi-women matches hide Britt Baker's many flaws, so they're really good for her. When she's giving to other opponents, she's a really good. She's a really okay, decent professional wrestler. Sheeta is one of the best wrestlers in the world, regardless of gender. Tony Storm brings a lot of energy. So does Jamie Hayter. It was a really fun match. Before 9 o'clock, I know that's a lot of people's problem with the women's division, but it was a really fun match. I just think it's not a coincidence that when Kenny comes back, the women's division starts having bangers after bangers. But maybe that's just me.
Maybe.
It did a good number. It did a good number. The women's tag.
So maybe it was just Thunder Rosa holding down.
No.
She's got enough shit this week,
Right. No, because this one
maybe TK was cooking something.
I'm about to say because it did maintain that million. While I'm looking at these quarters, it did maintain that
I'm not
million.
going to dunk on Rosa. So. I'm not going to dunk on Rosa.
To go
we're gonna leave that alone.
What was I say? A few people mentioned this about Tony's hip attacks and the swinging DDTs. That bit at the end where she done the when she done the hip attack, then straight, then she kind of just sat on Britt Baker's head, then went to the outside and done that swinging DDT. It looked great. But yeah, man, it was a good match. I think, like I said earlier, it definitely helped from being before 9 o'clock, because if this went in the normal slot at like 9:30, that means it comes after the Punk shit, and I think this at least gave it a chance to go out there and be a good match and have the crowd into it, which it did. I was a big fan of it. Do we have any predictions of who's going to win the title on Sunday?
I think Tony's going to win simply because she was set to win it all out anyways. And I think it would be very I don't want to say distasteful, but it would be very weird to be like, all right, you're not going to win anymore, even though you're still in the match. So I'd have her win, Tony win, which I'd be really cool with. But I would love for Sheeta to win it again and have her reign in front of crowds, just like Mox has his reign in front of crowds. I won't be disappointed if Tony wins. I won't be disappointed if Sheeta wins. I don't think Hayter is ready for a championship run yet. I think she needs to get the feud over Britt first. As long as Britt Baker wins, to be honest, I'm cool.
Rob, you got any predictions for the title match on Sunday? Sunday.
I think Tony takes it home. I don't want to see another Britt run. I would love to see another Sheeta run. And as Chris said, Hayter's not ready, but I think Tony's taking it home.
Manny, I saw your tweet earlier, but if you've changed your mind, you're with Tony as well, right?
Yeah. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Don't want to torture Manny with too much women's wrestling talk. Next up was probably the I doubt. Well, we'll see what happens. Kip Sabian cut a promo that I'll be quite frank. Nobody that I know gave a single fuck about it.
Y'all fucking with
Pac versus Kip Sabian on Sunday. Sorry to hear that.
Man, that'd be so funny if they bring him back just in. It would be crazy if Kip just beats Pac.
Bro, if he beats Pac, I'm gonna call the police or some shit. Nah, no way. I think it's crazy that he's even getting a match of like I know he hasn't wrestled in the company for a minute and shit, but like, yo, come on, bro. This is pay per view. It's not even on zero. Is it even on zero? I don't even think it's 0. I think it's on the pay per view.
It's on 0 hour. It's on the 3 matches for. I think the 3 matches for 0 hour is Hook and Parker. Kip
Hook's facing Parker.
Yeah. And then you got Ishii versus Kingston.
No, he's facing Cool Hand Parker, not Boudreaux.
Oh,
I forgot. There's 2 Parkers now in AEW.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, that's fucking hilarious.
I was gonna say,
yo, yeah, man.
That would be insane to see him suplex Boudreaux, though. That would be nuts.
Now, all jokes aside, though, and all nastiness aside, I don't think Kip Sabian's like bad. He's just, This is the most stacked roster possibly in the history of wrestling. I think giving Kip Sabian a world title match, no, not a world title match. Sorry, that would be fucking crazy. But giving Kip Sabian any title match at this stage just kind of feels out of place, I mean,
I'm not a huge Kip fan. But
I'm not mad at it really. It's just a lack of caring, which is for a Pac singles match on a pay-per-view. It's
Yeah, I know Ospreay's not in the country anymore, so they couldn't do that.
That would have been insane.
I understand, Tony Kip was there from day one, first match in AEW history. I understand him wanting to be like, you've been hurt all this time. I'm gonna give you something prominent to do. And if it's a really good match, where it probably will be both Pac is a super worker and Kip is a very competent worker. I think Kip might, turn some heads in this match. He has to.
Hopefully.
I don't know. For his perception, he kind of has to.
Yeah.
I really do like the box in the head gimmick. I think that his moving graphic is pretty cool. But, I'm glad it's on the pre-show, to be honest.
Anyone else got any takes on Kip Sabian?
It's kind of like what Chris said, and it's the same thing I said about Silver. It's
nigga, get off my dick!
Oh my god, bro! I'm saying, bro, we don't have to. No, I was saying, bro, like it's the same thing I kind of said for Silver, bro. It could kind of turn some heads on Kip because like everybody tries to make it seem like Kip is bad, but it's not that Kip is bad. He has a good fan base, but it's just like. It's just Kip Sabian, It's not like you hear Kip Sabian and you go, "Oh my god!" It's just Kip Sabian. So
yeah.
Manny, I'm sure you've got 5 minutes of takes for Kip Sabian right now.
No, this is gonna. Hopefully, he's good, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, man. Moving on.
If he stinks it up, man, he's on the first names on the chopping board for me, man.
Yeah, bro. If he stinks it up, I think he's gonna get killed on Twitter and shit.
I don't think he will.
I think he will get killed on Twitter because people will be like thinking of who else it could be. That's kind of what AEW fans do a lot. I don't think he won't get killed like Thunder Rosa has this week on the timeline or anything like that. But people will get their jokes off,
Yeah.
Chris probably being one of them.
Bro, I can see
It'll
it
be
now.
nasty. If he stinks up a fucking pack, it'll be really nasty for him.
Someone asked this. We got a super chat earlier that I nearly missed. After Sundown, optimistic to see these changes Tony plans on making to the women's division. Hopefully, if last night's match and the slot it was in, presentation, etc. I love these All-Star AEW tags. So more of those definitely wouldn't be a problem. And more Sheeta's always good, etc. So I've always held out that hope for the AEW women's division that that it gets more focus. That's kind of always been my thing, is the focus. It's like I've never thought the women were bad in it. I've never thought that the booking was like horrendously bad. Like, it's not like they make actively bad decisions and dumb decisions. It's just a lack of focus, and kind of to like what Tony said on the media call earlier. It's like he's more interested in booking the big numbers. Booking the big number segments with CM Punk and stuff like that. And I mean, at least he's honest. Like, I kind of don't agree with that philosophy, but at least at least he's honest. But as long as people continue to tell him that the women's division should get better, as he said earlier in the week, he always listens to the fans, and to be honest, we have good reason to believe that he does listen to the fans, and the division probably will go into kind of like a new era after this Thunder Rosa reign. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of times we always talk about this is going to be the turn for the women's division. This is going to be the turn for the women's division. But I genuinely do, I think this will, depending on who wins the championship, if Sheeta or Tony wins, I really do think there's going to be a heightened sense of, direction. If it's Sheeta, she can just have all these work rate matches. Yeah. Tony can also do work rate, but she can also, so she has better, she doesn't have the language barrier. She can do, all these storylines. And, the partnership with Stardom is still looming around the corner. So, you can do a lot with that. You still have the TJPW partnership. So, I think it's looking up for AEW, the women's division, depending on who the champion will be.
Yeah, man, it's looking good. Anyone else got anything to add to that super chat that I just pulled up about, the AEW women's division going forward? I know Manny doesn't, but Rob, you got anything to add? No, you
Rob went to the LCU.
No, not really.
Yes. No.
Sorry, guys, I got to get going, but
you got to get out of there. Well, at least you've done a nice little running for us. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
coming in on these technical difficulties. We've been
appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. I wish I had more energy. Just got done walking my dogs.
you always bring enough energy. We've been blasting through this Dynamite review. You're about to miss the best beat. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, yeah, man. Everyone follow Manny. He's good. I think you can catch him sometimes on the Late Night Grin channel as well. So if you subscribe to them over there, we always love and support those guys over there. And he's not a bad writer at all. He's actually a very good writer. His Samoa Joe piece on the match with Necro Butcher is brilliant, to be honest. But yeah, man, make sure you all follow him if you're not already. Next up, we had a Miro Darby Sting promo. It was just kind of a Miro promo that also had Darby and Sting in it, sort of thing. It was quite a pop, to be honest. Sting came in with this weird line at the end. It was like, he was like, the enemy of my enemy. And there was like this weird pause. And he was like, is my friend. And it was just like, yo. Oh, it was weird, bro. Because it's Sting, you're just like, well, fuck it. It's just Sting, bro. He's just fucking rules.
I was like, I thought he was just going to. When the pause came, I was like, oh, he's just going to do a cool. Because, everyone knows the ending of the line, is our friend. So I thought he wasn't gonna say it, and then he just comes in with this monotoned, ecstatic but monotone delivery of "is our friend."
It's
And
our
I just started
friend.
laughing.
Yeah.
It popped
I
off. It was
liked it. It
huge.
was cool.
Yeah.
I like all men involved in it.
Yeah, it was a cool aspect. Obviously, there wasn't really too much to add. There's probably not too much to review about it other than Sting's delivery. But yeah, man, dude, the Manny section lives forever. Factual. But yeah, so next up we got this CM Punk thing, and I know you two are probably gonna get you're gonna get some shit off, but let me get more shit off. You get me? So obviously with this whole feud, yeah, with CM Punk coming back from injury to face John Moxley, who John Moxley's been this animal, bro. He's been having these killer matches every week. It doesn't matter what promotion it's in, GCW, obviously AEW. He's having great matches with Tanahashi. He's doing the thing, man. Like, he's been an animal. He's a savage, but that's the aura that he's giving off as well. Like, this guy's a savage and he's on top of his game and he's the fucking man right now. He's been a beast, especially obviously when AEW needed someone to step up when their top star and CM Punk gets injured. Moxley's came in and filled the shoes and then some. You know what I mean? He's really been the company ace. He's been amazing. Then obviously, CM Punk comes back and they're bringing the match forward a week, the week before All Out. And from that moment, I've been like worried, but like kind of like, not worried and kind of questioning what they're doing. But honestly, bro, like, not to sound too much like our friend Backup Hangman, I've always kind of had faith that like CM Punk will be able to pull this angle off altogether because it's fucking CM Punk and it's what he does. He's not really involved. The idea of CM Punk being involved in like wrestle crap or like bad booking and stuff like that when he's in AEW, a company where he's going to have creative control and stuff, it just doesn't sound it don't sound too plausible to me, So I've always had that little thing in the back of my mind that, like, he's CM Punk, maybe he'll save it. And then the match happens and CM Punk gets squashed, bro. Like, and it's just like, and then like I've got more questions. Like, going into the match, I had questions about why they were doing it, and I was thinking maybe the questions will get answered in this match, and they just didn't. Like, there was more questions coming out of it, and then it's in Moxley's home state, it's in Cleveland. Punk gets the shit kicked out of him, and then the next week we ring. CM Punk's got to come out and he's got to face Chicago after getting squashed in like 2 minutes. And, the show opens, obviously, we bigged up Moxley earlier. Moxley comes out, he cuts his killer promo. But even when Moxley, like Rob said earlier on, like when Mox dropped that open contract out on the ring, it was like, for me personally, it was like, oh, fuck. They're actually doing like the open challenge thing. Like this is what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? It was like that. It's not really. Like I said, I had all this faith in Punk to pull off this great angle and shit. And, they were doing an open challenge and I was like, fuck. Like, I thought I was fucked, bro. And obviously Ace Steel came out after, and even then it was still a bit like, oh, fucking hell, what are we doing here? Then, CM Punk comes out, bro, and I'll be real, like, comes out and he's looking all dejected and he's doing sad boy shit and, his hands are in his pockets, he's looking at the floor. So all deflated and sad, and he's cutting his promo, and he starts a promo and he's got like tears in his eyes and shit, and fucking you're like, yo, what's he gonna say? Like, what's he gonna come out with? And he's coming out with all this like depressed, like like he's kind of like dribbling along. You know what I mean? Like, the promo itself, I think, like got that normal CM Punk fire to it, and I think it was like intentional. Like it was just CM Punk just kind of like in the dirt. Like just. It was weird. Do you know what I mean? I think it was intentionally like weird vibes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't know what he was going to come with, and he's saying like, he's he's talking about the details of his injury, saying the surgery told me that my foot's pulverized now, but I did get cleared, and the doctors did say I'm at 100%, and but it's just a new 100% now, and I just don't know if that's good enough. And then we get it, bro. And then the magic starts to happen, and you just hear this voice. you hear this voice coming down the ramp, and it's fucking Ace Steel, bro. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on here?" He's like, "This ain't what we talked about in the back. Or what are you talking about right now?" He's like, "This ain't the game plan, bro. This ain't what we talked about. This ain't it." Then like he done this little thing that I loved, where he said, he apologized to the crowd for interrupting CM Punk's promo, and he introduced himself like, "Yo, I'm Ace Steel. I've trained this man from day one. We're not just friends, we're family. We've seen them all come and go. And, you didn't let your family down. You didn't let Chicago down. You filled Chicago arena with just a rumor, etc., etc." And he was just putting Punk over. And he said, like, in your own words, when you get knocked down, it's about how you get back up. And then he just started grabbing him, bro. He smacked him in the face. He just smacked him in the face, and he said, "You fucking get up! You fucking get up!" And he's dog walking him around the ring, and he's like getting Chicago behind him, and he's getting Chicago to chant CM Punk, and CM Punk just wakes up this animal inside himself, and it's just CM Punk grabs the mic and he looks down the camera and he tells John Moxley that he's not him, and he gets into the crowd and he's rallying up the troops of Chicago behind him whilst walking through the crowd, cutting his fired up promo. It's fucking crazy. Like, the crowd's obviously going nuts for it all, and because like I was saying, like, the promo before Ace comes into it, it's weird. Then Ace comes in and he just wakes him up. As soon as he smacks CM Punk and drops an F-bomb, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, the magic just starts, bro. And like I said, CM Punk's like rallying up his army, walking through the Chicago crowd, cutting his promo on Moxley, talking about Chicago. It's pro wrestling, bro. Like, that's it. Like, he pulled it off. Like, I don't know, even up until the point where he walked out, even in the first minute of his promo, I was like, this ain't hitting like the way I want it to. And they've pulled off this angle, and I'm all in now. I'll be real. I'm all in on Moxley versus Punk at All Out on Sunday. He pulled it off. I don't know how he done it. I would say I don't know why I doubted him, but I don't think I. Well, yeah, I think I did have my doubts about this whole thing, man, and he's pulled it off. He's one of the greats. He's fucking CM Punk, and it's great to have him back. He's been back for a year now, and he's still, proving why it's so brilliant to have him back after all this time. And now that I've got my shit off, Rob and Chris are probably going to shit on everything I just said. Chris, I'll let you start.
I agree with you that the beginning of Punk's promo, it was weird. It was like he was talking to someone's voice. I actually thought he was going to say, "Yo, I got to go away again."
Yeah, that's what I mean, man.
That's what I thought he was going to say, like what he did on Rampage. It was weird because the crowd, we're in Chicago, and the crowd was, I'm not going to say they were like 100% against him, but it was like not as hyped for Punk as they should be since they're in Chicago. And then he had hecklers. He called someone a...
Oh, yeah, I forgot. How did I forget? How did I forget that?
The crowd was just chanting, like just heckling them. Even after he caught that dude, that guy, the crowd was just heckling him. It was a really weird atmosphere for Punk in Chicago. And I was like, bro, if they're trying to get sympathy for Punk, they're not doing it right. And then Ace Steel comes out, and he's just fucking the definition of what's that word? The definition of, yeah, I'll run through a brick wall for this guy. After he slapped Punk, grabbed him, told him all this shit on some Rocky Balboa shit. Just like, it's like, that's legit what, I know a lot of people are saying, that's legit what it is. It's like Rocky Balboa shit.
Yeah, that's definitely what they were going for, man.
Yeah, it's definitely intentional. Ace Steel, I didn't know Ace Steel was until today. And I turned up the TV when I saw him. No, but I didn't know what Ace Steel was.
Oh, here we fucking go.
after that promo. It's
Oh my god!
Fuck me.
Say
God,
CM Punk's name 3 times and he'll appear, bro. Hey, Backle Pangman. I tried my best with the CM Punk. You know, tried my best with my own little dialogue about it, but
shit.
you know, I think the people probably been missing your 10-minute fucking spoken word poem about what CM Punk did last night. I know you're at work right now, but yeah, man, if you want to unmute yourself and get involved in this CM Punk talk, then let's get to it. Yeah.
Philip Jack Brooks is the embodiment of professional wrestling.
Oh my god, get off dick. Oh my god, no way.
This man is a special talent.
Oh my god.
Absolutely unreal.
You
I don't
are
know what
at
y'all
work.
I don't know what y'all been talking about, but I'm at work, right? And something in the universe guided me to popping by the WrestlePurists podcast to talk.
You are at work.
I hope you guys are doing okay. I don't know what I've missed. I don't know what you guys have touched on, but CM Punk's promo was incredible, and it just shows how sensational he is. He walked into an environment that, quite frankly, it's the most hostile Chicago crowd he's ever faced. There was a lot of heckling. It was very awkward. Moxley came in at the start of the show and frankly turned the people on his side, and yet, you know, and it wasn't completely by himself. He had a lot of help from Ace Steel, who did a tremendous job in this promo segment. But this man is Rocky, bro. This isn't a story about Punk turning heel. It's a redemption angle. And he came in there and he was unsure of himself. And, you know, if any other talent was involved, I'd honestly be unsure of their ability to pull this off. Because, Monty, what we had was a month's worth of storytelling condensed into about 7 minutes. You know, Punk being unsure about doing this matchup and getting the pep talk and firing up. That's like 3 to 4 weeks worth of segments. And it's really tricky to try to squeeze it in the way they did, but they had no choice because, you know, the pay-per-view's on Sunday. But yeah, man, Punk, look, he fired up. He got the pep talk he needed. He went into the crowd and he played the Chicago angle. And was it a bit ham-fisted and potentially corny? Sure. But listen, man, what they did last week was necessary. I said this last week. You know, John Moxley squashed him, and they set it up for Punk to earn the title victory because, you know, I'm fully of the belief that Punk's winning the belt, right? But I think Mox suggested what he suggested so that he remained credible and viable, and more power to him because he feels immovable. He feels like he's a fucking untouchable monster, right? And so now, literally, and that's why he killed him last week, and it made sense. And now Punk, he's gonna do the unthinkable. He's gonna do the impossible, and he's gonna beat him in Chicago. And he cut a promo this week to where the people are back on his side. It was masterful. This match at All Out's probably gonna be beautiful. And I can't. There aren't enough superlatives in the world to praise this guy CM Punk. Like I said on Twitter, you know, if you're somebody who discounts and disregards his contributions to pro wrestling, I just think I don't know what you're watching, and I don't know what you want out of the business. You know, he cannot run and jump like Will Ospreay. He cannot wrestle the way Kenny Omega does. But that doesn't make him any less important or special to pro wrestling. You know, I think outside of the stuff that's surrounding the Elite, I think what he does is just it's a contribution that's insurmountable to this promotion. He's so special. This promo was so great. Again, I can't praise it enough. I appreciate that it happened. He's just a man. He's just one of the greatest wrestling talents I've ever seen. So I just wanted to pass by and put that over. He's a mastermind. Oh, he is a mastermind, man. And again, John Moxley, listen, man, credit to him too, because he's been sensational in this. Like I said, last week's win legitimized him. He is him also. And good on him for suggesting the squash. You know what I mean? Because if they didn't do that, it would have felt a bit weird to see Punk just kind of swoop in and beat John and move on, you know. So they did it in a way where Mox really does feel like he's untouchable, and Punk has to earn it. And kudos to him for cutting a promo that makes it so that it feels like he will earn it rather than just kind of waltz in and take what's waiting for him. So well done, good piece of business. I appreciate everybody in the WrestlePurists podcast. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Punk goated, back to work. Thank you.
Done.
Appreciate
Look, there's a comment that's in the chat. Somebody said his co-workers are suffering while this nigga is in here twerking for Punk. This is crazy.
Public indecency just to dick ride for Punk is crazy.
Bro, to be honest, when Punk did that segment last night, because I know obviously he's at work and shit, so I messaged him because I know he's avoiding spoilers and that, but he does check our DM, and I just said to him, like, bro, when you watch this CM Punk thing, like, you're either gonna do like a 2-minute run-in, or you're gonna send in a video or some shit talking about what CM Punk just did, because it is important, but there's definitely a lot to be said for what Chris said and what Backup Hangman just said as well about like how that Chicago crowd, like, it was hostile, they were heckling him, it was weird, and he was like, it just all added to it, man, because he just got squashed and he's got to face his hometown again, and he's just been squashed and he's all dejected and they're all kind of like, what the fuck's going on, and it's just like this really weird atmosphere. And then Ace Steel wakes up that dog in him, bro. It was fun. It was cinema. It was like, even like what Hangman just said, man. Like, it was a bit corny, him going through the crowd, pumping his fist, rallying up the troops. But it was just,
I will say this about it is I'm indifferent. Everybody's talking about it was weird. And this is not even like on my agenda, Tom. The promo before Ace Steel came in was not good. I was not getting into it. I didn't care at all.
It was hitting, bro.
What is going on? Like, what are you talking about? And he's doing this fake ass Mark Henry retirement shit. Like, what is going on? And then Ace Steel basically came out and said, "Look, nigga, we from Chicago. We don't lay down. We get the fuck up." And then it kind of got me back into it. And then when he went in the crowd, he said he's standing there, and you, like, somebody put in the chat, you see somebody like literally, like, the city loves him so much that somebody's literally offering their kid to him, and like somebody had like a 1 month, 2-month-year-old baby in the audience there at the show and shit like that. So it was a cool visual. Wasn't better than Mox's promo, but it was a cool video. It was a cool visual. I'd say that.
I think it was just more like I think it's just like the visual, and the thing with Punk is that it's not. I wouldn't say it's creative, because it's like it was definitely creative in a wrestling sense, but it's not like it's something that's never been done before in like entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally doing like a Rocky story.
Yeah, it's
I don't know, man.
Rocky
It's just
running in the streets of Philly with Philly behind him. That's really what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
That's like, literally, yeah, like you said, Chris, literally exactly what it is, to be honest. But his shit just feels different, man. He's CM Punk. I can't really say anything that Backup Hangman hasn't already tweeted or embarrassed himself by saying already. So,
and like, people think I hate Punk. I don't hate Punk. Punk used to be my favorite wrestler of all time. It's just how Backup Heyman, how much he likes Punk, just makes me angry, and it makes me dislike Punk.
Oh God!
And it's like, oh my God, bro! Like, I would never forgive this man Hangman for taking away CM Punk from me. And well, you would still like Punk. It's just his opinion. No.
No.
Also, Punk is treated with my favorite wrestlers, and Punk is friends with people who I hate. So it's like, all right, Punk, you're not giving me a lot to work with. You're Backup Heyman's favorite wrestler. You associate with FTR. You're a closeted. No, I won't bring that up. But you're a closeted someone dick rider who I won't bring up.
On God.
And it's like, you're feuding with Moxley, who I think is rest of the year. It's a lot going against Punk, but like, to be objective, Punk is one of the greats.
Right.
But I would not be praising him until he feuds with someone I don't like.
I'm not praising that nigga till he apologizes.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like, when we talk about the CM Punk promo before, like just not being that good, it's like the way like Ace comes into it, like yo,
it's
Ace said this
crazy.
shit is embarrassing. Like I think that's genuinely what they were going for.
Mhm.
Like Punk being like on this weird like level, and his delivery and everything just weren't quite. And he was just kind of like moping on, like, what's this guy talking about, man? Like, is he gonna retire or like some shit? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then Ace
actually,
comes out like, what are you doing?
yeah, everyone in the chat, I'm giving y'all a game right here. I know we got some video editors in the chat. You would be very remiss not to make an Eye of the Tiger CM Punk music video before All Out.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the hitter.
I want to watch it, but
George Patu, get on that.
Yeah, we need to get him, or what's the other guy that I just followed?
Tiger
Tiger
Style.
Style. Yeah,
Tiger
Tiger
Style.
My man
George
Briscoe be
Patu.
making some hot videos too.
Briscoe
But yeah,
too.
it was really good professional wrestling segment. I didn't need a video package to get into it, like some stupid people on the internet say. But yeah,
So yeah, we just hit 2 hours, so we'll power through the rest of Dynamite, and then I'll let you guys get your shit off about Bobby Fish to close. Does that sound good?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next up we had Jungle Boy and Christian sit down with JR. I was still dizzy from CM Punk getting the troops together in Chicago, so I didn't pay that much attention last night, but I did rewatch it today, and it kind of popped me out. Christian was basically like, "Fuck friends, fuck friends, fuck family. I want money." And Jungle Boy said that he's fighting Jack Perry on Sunday and not Jungle Boy. And yeah, man, like this wasn't bad at all. It was just I think it was just kind of the victim of following genuinely what I believe was like an all-time great Dynamite segment. So. Does anyone got any thoughts on the sit down with JR?
It was good. I'm really excited for the match. I really wish they would have gave this like a unsanctioned match type feel. Well, the feud will probably continue after All Out. I'm really torn on who's gonna win. I feel like Jungle Boy should. I don't know. I don't want to say should. I feel like Christian's winning this, and they're gonna have a couple more matches, and Jungle Boy will. I think the end of this whole feud is gonna be a no DQ uncensored type match where Jungle Boy can chose Christian, and I think that's how the whole feud is gonna end. But I do see Christian winning this, maybe by nefarious means, and yeah, it was a good segment. Not too much to write home about. Jungle Boy going in as Jungle Jack Perry instead of Jungle Boy is interesting also. Which kind of makes me think they're going to push him very hardly. Because I know one of the criticisms, especially like JR talked about, like people want him to go by Jack Perry instead of Jungle Boy. They think Jungle Boy is like too cartoonish to be a pushed act, which I never had a problem with. But if he goes by Jungle Jack Perry, it'd be cool. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But yeah, it was a cool segment.
Rob, you got anything to add?
Yeah. Basically, I thought it was really good. I loved him being like, the whole you were like basically you were like a father to me. He was like, bro, I don't give a shit about being your father, bro. I'm all about that bag. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think Christian is because Jungle Boy. I know this doesn't really matter, but Jungle Boy Christian's really never had a pay-per-view win. His last pay-per-view win was I think Full Gear, so he's never really had like a pay-per-view win. And Jungle Boy won at the last two pay-per-views. So I think they're going to do that, and then they're probably going to do something in between Full Gear or at Full Gear. And speaking of that, one aspect we haven't brought up is we ain't seen Luchasaurus in 2 weeks. We have not seen Luchasaurus in 2 weeks. So I think Christian wins, and finally we get the turn from finally we actually get the turn from Luchasaurus. And like somebody just said in the chat, it was exactly Charlie, but King of the North just said in the chat, Luchasaurus never touched Christian Cage. He's never touched him, and
Yeah, that's definitely a good point, because there wasn't actually a point where he, like King of the North said, he never actually attacked or put his hands on Christian Cage. So, we'll see what happens. I think it'll actually be a really good match, and I think people are kind of sleeping on it because there's been a whole whirlwind of news, and obviously the Punk and Mox match coming together so late. Obviously the trios tournament's going on, and this kind of got lost in the shuffle because like Christian, obviously one of the all-time greats when it comes to putting a match together. He's brilliant at it. Then obviously Jungle Boy, he's kind of like one of the young talents that, if you are a guy who can put a match together, you just need someone who can, work hard, and he can do it. Jungle Boy is, he's a great talent in ring. So I think this, like I said, I think this is probably one of, if not the sleeper of the card. But yeah.
Luchasaurus was suspended. I think Luchasaurus helps him win and gets reinstated because Christian pulls some strings.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, no, I think it'll be Christian through some way of cheating or bullshit or something, But yeah, next up we had Wardlow and FTR. They were in a squash match. Honestly, got really nothing to add on that. It looked exactly like how you'd expect it to look. Wardlow getting his entrance is always a part. FTR always get a big part. But yeah, it was just a squash match. There wasn't really anything to it. Then next up we had there was another Mox promo where he was just kind of following up the CM Punk thing, and to be honest, compared to the one that he cut at the start of the show, it's not even like it was a bad promo or worse promo or anything like that. It was just to follow, for Mox to go out there again, and I get why they tried to do it, but for Mox to go out there again after what CM Punk just did, like rallying up the city, it was just difficult for him, but he's still, he was still great. It's Moxley. He's never going to go out there and cut a bad promo and stink up the microphone. He cut a nice little promo. It just didn't, it was, I'd say, honestly, I doubt many people remember that promo compared to the one that he cut at the start of the show, because like I said, it was so dizzying after what CM Punk just did.
Yeah.
But, do you guys have any takes on the Mox promo at all?
It was a good promo. That's kind of all. It forwarded a little bit more story. Nothing really talk about.
Yeah. Next up was this killed me, bro. 10 and Evil Uno got attacked by Andrade and Jose, bro. And it was just like that. So I've been wondering, not all week, but like, I've been wondering for a minute now, like, how did they actually get Hangman into this tournament? Are they gonna do like some angle where he's conflicted and has to make a choice, or do you know what I mean? Like, and this is what they actually came out with, and it's just it just popped me. You got Jose. Jose's out here threatening niggas with a fucking taser, bro.
Yo, I was gonna say, like, dog, that was my favorite part. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? And I look at his head, he's got a fucking taser. I'm like, yo, hey, Jose out here like that? Nigga, that's crazy, bro. That's
Iqbal Raja, Montel is the GOAT. Thank you very much. Where is Hangman now? You just missed him. He's at work, so he actually wasn't supposed to be on the podcast at all, but he did come in for like 5 minutes to talk about CM Punk, because of course he did. But yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah, this was crazy, bro. Fucking Jose with the taser. Andrade was nailing fucking Uno with that crutch, bro.
Let it in, brother.
But yeah, like I said, man, the fact that this is the way that they've put Hangman into it, it just popped me huge, man. I thought it was going to be a bit more elaborate, Next up, we had Rouge versus Dante versus Phoenix versus Utah. This was a fun match, bunch of crazy spots. Rouge definitely made sure he got his shit in. But Utah won with his little crazy roll-up pin thing that he does. It always looks really good as well. The way he transitions into it most of the time, he's getting really creative with it. It's a really cool finish that he's added to his game, to be honest. You guys have anything to add to the Fatal 4-Way?
Really fun match. Fun fact, I actually pitched this match, not these individuals in the match, but I've been pitching to a certain owner of All Elite Wrestling to do more multi-man matches, 4-ways and 3-ways. And the little birdie got that message, is what I heard from the rabbit hole. Yeah, I'm taking credit for this match. Of course I am. But yeah, all these guys are good. Dante's really over. Roosh was really over in this match. Chicago AEW crowds has a lot of Mexican representation in the crowd all the time when they come out here. Wheeler is good. Phoenix was stunning as usual. But I don't think anyone in this match is going to win the ladder match. My pick,
agree.
I think, unless the Joker is Samoa Joe or MJF, I think Andrade is winning this ladder match. I think he has the best chance from all the participants known already. I don't think Claudius wins. I don't think Bruce will win. He already had a chance on Moxley. I don't think what's our boy's name? I don't think Penta or Phoenix will win. Don't think Wheeler will win. Don't see Dante winning.
Right.
Unless the Joker is someone like must-see match, I think Andrade wins. You know?
Right.
Where are you at with the match, Rob? I'm sorry, Chris. No,
you're good. I was pretty much done.
I thought it was a great match. Just a bunch of guys who go out there and do what they do best, which is not an insult, but they just did flips, did a bunch of cool spots. It was great. Wheeler Yuta got the win, which I knew he was going to, because they're not gonna let the lose. And I kind of see Andrade winning too. I mean, they're not going to let Claudio try to become a double champion unless they want to try to do a Blackpool Combat Club thing with Punk, which I don't see them doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, it was fun, you know. Casino ladder match, the only thing, I always think 8 people is a little bit overkill. I think I prefer 6, but you know, it gets all the talent on the card, and the roster's that stacked that I completely get it, you know. But yeah, I'm with Rob. I think I can't remember Rob or Chris, who, you know, I'm pretty sold on Samoa Joe being a Joker, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know Uncle Dave thinks it's going to be MJF, it seems, but I just don't. We spoke about it earlier. Obviously, I just don't think that's the spot for him. I think it probably should be Joe. Then you have Joe or Andrade win, because obviously Andrade came back in that Casino Battle Royale, and a lot of people penciled him in to win that because he came back as a Joker in that, and it just made sense that he'd win. And then Kyle O'Reilly won, and I know that popped a lot of people, and a lot of people had some moaning to do about it. That really felt kind of like a missed opportunity for Andrade. Obviously, they went with Kyle O'Reilly for that push at that time, which is what it is sort of thing. But it would be cool if Andrade did get this one. But I do think it will be a Joker win. But I did mention when I was on a podcast with Joe, I think it was was I on a podcast or was I just talking to him on WhatsApp? But the idea of Claudio kind of pops me, to be honest. They just don't put the Ring of Honor title on the line. It's just for the world title sort of thing, and you just do Claudio versus Punk or Moxley, probably Punk. But yeah, I think it will probably be the Joker winning it. But yeah, moving on real quick. Hangman joins the Dark Order for the Trios tournament. Again, similar to like how the Dark Order got beat up by Jose, this was kind of just I was kind of expecting something a bit more elaborate, and you know, but it was literally just kind of John Silver and Reynolds backstage, and Hangman was just like, "Yeah, man, I'm in." Like, all fucking hail. Yeah, man. Obviously, you have to assume the Dark Order are now going to beat the Best Friends, like we've kind of assumed ever since the match got booked, to be honest. And then the final's going to be the Ultimate Sad Boy Law Elite All jokes aside, I'm sure it'll be fucking tremendous. All great workers. Even though, like I was saying before, like Reynolds and Silver, they might not be like Dragon Lee and Andrade, but they're still very good wrestlers. And Hangman and the Elite are obviously, it's pretty much as good as it gets. But speaking of as good as it gets, the main event, unless you got anything to add about Hangman jumping into the dark order, but the main event, United Empire versus the Elite. I'll start with you, Chris, and I'll kind of just let you. I'll let you hoot.
First off, this match was incredible. A top 10 AEW TV match of all time. You could argue a top 10 AEW match period of all time if you want. Mm-hmm. The moves, the story, and not just the moves. I mean, the moves is definitely what got me, but there was a lot of stories on this match between Ospreay and Omega and the resentment. Kenny Omega having Justin Roberts just tell Ospreay that Omega is just better than him in every way conceivable. Pop me. Yeah. But to get serious right quick, not trying to hurt any feelings here, but Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler of all time. In my opinion, of course. Kenny Omega right now is not at 100%. I think we all can agree with that. He's at, 80%, maybe even 70%. And he is still better than many. He's still better than 75% of wrestlers of all time, with him being at 70%. What he doesn't have, and he still has explosiveness. I know a lot of people said he was going to lose the explosiveness. He still has that. You know how he runs the rope still. Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler, in-ring worker of all time. He's one of the best storytellers of all time. You can't tell me otherwise. What Kenny has done for professional wrestling is something that we will not see for a long time, with someone who has the skills in ring, with someone who has the creative mind for storytelling, the love for pro wrestling he has, just how good he is as a worker, as a storyteller, as a person. Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler of all time. Kenny Omega is the greatest TV wrestler of all time. People didn't think when he made the move from New Japan to American TV, people didn't think he could do it. They were doubting him when he was doing the tag stuff with Hangman, when he was doing maybe I just don't got it anymore. Maybe I'm just better in New Japan storylines. And then, you know what he did? He became one of the best tag wrestlers in the world with Hangman, putting on great tag matches with Hangman. And then, when it was time for him to get that big belt, he took it and he rode this company. He's carried this company through injuries, wrapped his injuries in gold, wrapped his injuries in popping million view dynamites every week. He is the greatest of all time. And people need to get over the biases. I don't care if it's tribalism. I don't care if it's he does too much flippy things. I don't care if it's you think Roman Reigns is better. You're just a bloodline freak. If you don't respect Kenny Omega and you don't appreciate what he's doing for the sport of professional wrestling, I can't respect you as a person. I cannot respect you as a man. I cannot look you in the eyes. I cannot pray for you. I wish nothing but the worst on your soul.
Cook, big bro.
If you're not here, he's the best. And
of all time,
I'm
nigga.
tired of saying, oh, he's the best of the generation. No, he's the best of all time.
All time, nigga.
No, I'm not a Dave Meltzer guy. I don't care about star ratings, but 7, nigga. Who else got 7? Masawa?
Whoa.
Who else got 7? Who else got 7? Who else got multiple 6s? Who else got fucking all these 5s? They care about star ratings? No, I don't care about star ratings. But when all these people, all these journalists, all these sites are putting up how great a man is, why are we not sitting and listening like, Now that I think about it, who is better than Kenny Omega? There's not a lot of people. Brian Danielson, Kobashi, Okada, Angle. Who is there's no one definitely better than Kenny Omega at the sport of professional wrestling. And I'm tired of acting like there is. It might be a little bit biased because he's my favorite wrestler of all time. He's the wrestler that got me into watching wrestling. The Elite in general got me into watching wrestling. on a constant basis.
Good.
But this match was amazing. It's another stamp on the great career of Kenny Omega. It will be another 5-star match. His second match back. It just marvels me how good he is. Like, you know, I thought white men were the devil, but then I saw Kenny Omega and I was like, you know what?
Yo,
I'll give him a chance. So,
cook, big bro.
Kenny and the Bucks are the greatest thing to happen to this great sport since. Let me not say that. They're a great addition to the sport of professional wrestling. Kenny is great. Ospreay, as much as of a knobhead as he is, he's a great worker. He's a great professional wrestler. Probably the most athletic professional wrestler of all time. And it might not even be a competition. He's gotten way better at his storytelling, his body movements. That fucking when he fucking reverses the lariat into the city out powerbomb is one of my favorite spots in wrestling. It's so pretty to look at. He's such a good wrestler. Aussie Open, you know, they're fucking great. This match was amazing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Great match. Kenny's the best of all time. Yeah. Nick Jackson is the best hot tag of all time too.
Oh God, cook.
Cool.
You know, I'm basically echoing his segment. You know, it's so funny because a certain nigga that made a run in today, you know, he says he's one of the best of all time, thinks he's better than Kenny. I know this when one of the, you know, the two guys that I just mentioned, you know, being Punk and Omega, when one of them, you know, quit their American company and quit the same company, they didn't run from the grind and say, you know, I'm just gonna go do something else. No, they went to Japan and cooked. And went to Japan and handled their fucking business. Like, y'all niggas, bro. Y'all niggas just be lying to yourselves, bro. It's time to admit it, bro. Kenny Omega is out here.
Nigga, look at Kenny's resume.
Bro, look at. I'm about to say, bro, like, Kenny is out here. Kenny, bro, niggas don't even realize. Kenny got hurt, I think it was 2017, 2018, I think it was. He first got hurt. His first fucking injury. Then went on to fucking Dominion and wrestled damn near 2 hours. Then, Then fucking went to Wrestle Kingdom and wrestled for 30 fucking minutes. Then came over here to the States and
IWGP heavyweight champion, nigga.
IWGP heavyweight
Iron heavyweight champion. AEW World Champion. AEW Tag Champion.
Nigga. On God,
New Japan Heavyweight Champion Tag Champions.
Cook, nigga.
Junior Tag Champs.
Cook.
DDT Junior Tag Champs. PWG Champ. Battle of Los Angeles winner. The best Gaijin of all time.
Bro, when he got knocked fucking unconscious.
Y'all niggas taking Stan Hansen over Kenny Omega? I'm not, nigga.
Oh, God.
I love Stan Hansen. I ain't taking Vader over him, too. Kenny wouldn't get bitched out by Shawn Michaels.
Oh, God.
Vader, though.
Listen, bro. That nigga finished an entire tournament. Finished several entire G1s and everything with fucking vertigo, nigga. Y'all niggas, bro. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Stop saying Roman is better than that nigga. Obviously, Roman is like, what? He's not even top 10 in the world no more. But y'all niggas just have that fucking clear bias where y'all niggas prefer storytelling, all that weird shit, nigga.
Well, we're talking about bias whilst doing a fucking
I'm gonna say,
Kenny Omega celebration speech.
What you mean, bro? Wait, what you mean?
No, look, I agree with most of what you're saying. Like, I love Omega as well, but we can't be saying people are biased when we've just done like.
Bro.
I've just done a 5-minute fucking spoken word poem about Punk.
Kenny Omega is the reason that
I'm definitely biased.
God. That's what I mean. We got to admit it when we are being biased, you know.
Bro, Kenny Omega is the reason that several of these American niggas or Australian niggas, Buddy Murphy, have their fucking movesets right now.
Now, hold on.
Come on, bro. Niggas, fucking Rollins wasn't doing the fucking ripcord V-trigger before Kenny came around, nigga. Come on, bro.
Yeah, Kenny's a man. I'm not saying Kenny's not the man.
Niggas need to stop disrespecting the Bucks.
We clearly have our biases.
Bro, stop saying no. Stop saying the fucking, and also stop saying the fucking DUI merchants are better than the fucking Young Bucks.
No, I don't even think anybody says that anymore. We got past that.
I'm about to
stop saying that the Bret Hart merchants are better than Young Bucks.
On God, nigga, stop saying that shit, bro. That shit's you
Monty,
nigga.
My thing. for me to touch on the main event, it was obviously an amazing match. I can't really add anything too much that you guys haven't already said. Will Ospreay is a fucking freak. Like, there's yeah, he's athletic and he does the flips, and we could say, like, you know, he's the most athletic wrestler ever. But it's like when he gets going in matches like this, like last week, like the match with Shingo, like the match with Okada, the match with Naito, like when he's going, like the level of execution is insane. Like he pulls off his shit flawlessly, and it looks so easy to him. Like even last night when he done that skull twister press to the outside, he made it look so easy to him. He landed it so easily. When he's doing flips off people's chests, when he's doing reversals, when he's swinging around lariats into power bombs, like the spot Chris mentioned, like he just makes everything look so flawless, and he just executed so perfectly. He's a freak, man. And obviously, Nick Jackson, best hot tag in the business. My hot take about the Bucks is that I think Nick Jackson is like levels better than Matt.
Yeah,
I think Matt's great as well. I think Matt is great as well. Like they are genuinely, like, arguably the greatest tag team of all time. They're both amazing. But Nick Jackson is fucking phenomenal. And just obviously Kenny Omega, like he's showing more and more glimpses of, you know, the old Kenny Omega, a bit more explosive in this match than the one previous. Of course, he's kind of shedding a little bit more of his armor because he didn't have like the shoulder, not sling, but like the shoulder.
Monty, do you want to know what I noticed in these matches?
Mm.
In these trio matches, there's one spot he has not hit yet. That's signature that he's teasing. Like he's been teasing every match he's been in so far, and he's gonna hit that at the pay-per-view, and it's gonna be a giant pop. He's been teasing the Terminator dive. Like he was teasing that heavy in the LIF match, right?
Yeah, it was super obvious in the LFO match.
And then I don't know if anybody knows, no one really talked about it, but he was also teasing it in the United Empire match. And he's going to hit that. That's good storytelling where it's like, they're selling the move. He's not going to hit it until the pay-per-view. It's going to be a big thing. He's just a great storyteller with his movement, with his body language.
Yeah, he's in-ring storytelling. The same with the Bucks as well. Look, it's very, very high level. Like, I think with obviously with Kenny coming back with all like him having like his body of armor on and shit like that. You know, I think the way he's conveyed that message and told that story in ring, he's done pretty perfectly. Like last night, I think I mentioned earlier about, you know, when Will Ospreay ripped off his compression shirt, and you know, you saw all the tape and everything, and like a lot of people have been wondering, you know, like what kind of shape is Kenny Omega going to come back in, because, you know, he's been beat up, man. And but yeah, he looked great physically, he genuinely did. But you know, he had the tape around his abs, so you couldn't see any of that. I think he still had some shoulder tape on and stuff like that. He didn't have any fake tan on, so he looked really pale and stuff like that. And I was saying to these guys earlier on, like, it's gonna pop me so huge when he comes out all out, and he's got that fresh tan, he's got his abs out, and he's looking great, and he's just fucking, like, you know what I mean? Omega's back.
They're gonna do.
But then he hits the Terminator dive as well. But yeah, the match is great. Dave's probably almost definitely gonna give it another 5 stars. But yeah, man. Well, that's obviously Dynamite. One of genuinely, probably could argue it's the greatest trios match that they've put on in the promotion. Maybe it's definitely up there at least. Just tremendous stuff, and obviously I can't really add any much more to what these guys said about Omega. He's the man. He's fucking Kenny Omega, you know. But yeah, to finish up, I'm gonna let you guys get your shit off about Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish has left a. Let me just get the actual news out. Bobby Fish has left AEW. Apparently, his contract has expired. He's been there less than 1 year, so it seems like a bit of a weird contract that he must have signed. Yeah, earlier on in the week, there was some red flags to the AEW fans, especially when he was saying shit like, I'd go to war for Triple H. Apparently, he was complaining about the amount of matches he would have, and it was kind of it wasn't the most positive AEW podcast from Bobby Fish, considering most of us thought he was still signed to the promotion at the time. We now know he's not. We don't know if he's gonna go WWE, but I guess they tag team with Roddy over there kind of makes sense for him. But yeah, Rob, I'll let you start. Bobby Fish has left AEW. Your thoughts?
No, I'm gonna let Chris go first.
Bobby, what the fuck you are 45, nigga. What the fuck you think
Grown man.
do in WWE, my nigga?
Grown
Team
man.
Roddy, bro, you cannot hold Roddy's pocket for that much longer, bro.
Grown man.
What do you think you're gonna do? Be a coach? That's all you got, bro. And
He's 67.
I get it. You love Triple H like he's your pops because you didn't grow up with a father. I get it, bro. You grew up in the fucking prehistoric time. You don't got a dad. I understand, bro. You know, a lot of black kids go through the same thing. Bro, that's not your daddy. You are 45 years old, bro. I'll go to war for Triple H. He wouldn't go to war for you?
He would not go to war
Y'all
for
think
you.
Triple H would go to war for Bobby Fish, bro? What wrestler y'all
didn't
think
go to-
Triple H is
bro.
trading for Bobby Fish?
Bro, he didn't go to.
He don't love you like he loved Kyle and like he loved Adam, bro. I'll just tell you that. You might think you do, but he don't love you like that. What that boy Draymond said to Paul Pierce? They don't love you like that.
Oh
They don't love you
God,
like that.
bro,
I don't know what you think
he
he's gonna do. You're stupid. You was fucking doing all these fucking you was
relax.
dropping a hop at Triple H. You was throwing shots at top guys in the company like you're not a bench player.
Bro.
All right, little bro. Enjoy being PC coach.
Bro, it's so funny, Chris, that you mentioned you like, oh, you in Monty, you mentioned he said you go to war for Triple H. But what happened last when you got cut, bro? When they put your name on that list, did Triple H go to war for you, bro? No, he didn't, nigga. You're 60. You're sick, bro. No, he didn't go to war for that nigga at all, bro. He's 67. Nigga, he went to war. He went to war for Joe. He went to war for Joe. He didn't go to war for Bobby. So obviously Joe is 10 times the commodity that you are, nigga. Like, bro, you're 67 years old, bro. It's time. It's time, bro. These niggas I'm tired of all these stories coming out talking about, oh, all these guys want to go back to WWE because Triple H is their adopted parent or some shit. Bro, that nigga's not your father, bro. He did not put diapers on you. He did not put none of that shit on you, bro. Stop.
You niggas is 30.
You're like, these are 30, and I would understand, you know what I'm saying? I would understand if these are niggas like Roxanne and shit like that, like 20 years old, under 25 years old. I would completely understand. But they are 40-plus-year-old men, bro. 40-plus-year-old men talking about this man is your father figure. You need to stop. Half of y'all been in documentaries where we seen your father. This is ridiculous, bro. Jonah, all of y'all need to stop, bro. It's disgusting. Right, Peach. You do what y'all want to see a main y'all. So y'all really sitting here talking about a main event with R-Truth versus Bobby Fish? That would be heat to y'all. Like this, who does he think he is? You were ROH TV champion. You were never a world champion. They didn't see you like that. It's time to stop, bro. It's disgusting. All are grown men.
It is funny. It is funny to see. It is funny to see. Like for me, seeing Bobby Fish come out and just like deep roy Triple H was just like. What? It's funny how some of these guys get with Triple H. It's very similar to like how some people got with Vince back in the day, and even towards the end, to be honest, where it was just kind of like, Uncle Vince. Now it's kind of like Uncle Hunter with some of these wrestlers.
Bro, Bobby Fish got hurt and sat out for half the year, and the Undisputed Era was better with him, with Roddy, Cole, and
nigga,
Kyle
Roddy,
than it was with him.
And Kyle are a better Red Dragon than
Are a better Red Dragon than them, bro. And I know what they're gonna do. These niggas are nasty. They're gonna bring him back and they're gonna try to do a tag team. And all of like the hardcore WWE stands are gonna try to push that agenda that it was a better tag team than Red Dragon, and it's not, bro.
That will.
It's not.
Yeah, that's the 100% what they're gonna do. But for me with Bobby Fish, I think it seems like he's not being the most peaceful person, to put it lightly. I'm gonna try to be kind of like the chilled one on the Bobby Fish talk or wherever now. But he's a pretty alright wrestler. He's got educated feet. You know.
Oh my god. Yeah,
He didn't have
he's 45.
he didn't have educated feet when he tore that ACL the first time.
That's crazy.
Anyways, Bobby
That's
Fish,
crazy.
he's gone. Bobby Fish is gone. He's out of AEW. I guess
Monty,
we was talking about it
do you
earlier
have
in the
Bobby
group
Fish
chat.
merch?
With the what?
Do you have some Bobby Fish merch?
I ain't got shit, bro. I got
Anybody in the chat
I got
that
Mick
shows-
Foley, bro. Like
Anybody in the chat that shows me they have Bobby Fish merch,
Cactus
I'll
Jack,
give you a
dead
shout
or
out or some
alive.
shit, bro. I don't think anybody has any Bobby Fish merch.
Anybody in the chat can name their favorite Bobby Fish match?
Singles match? No? That out.
Right,
Go ahead, Monty.
yeah, Bobby Fish is gone. We've done the Dynamite review. We spoke Braun. We spoke MJF. I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, pretty much
You
everything.
think? Have we got anything? Have we got any other subjects to get through? I don't think. We was gonna do a preview of the weekend, but we kind of done that along the way. Obviously, Clash of the Castle is this Saturday. Just a quick one. Do you think? Who have you guys got in the Drew McIntyre Roman Reigns match?
That's actually kind of hard. But
Really
my
is.
gut is telling me Roman's retaining. But
What
I
about
feel
you,
like it
Rob?
would be I don't know.
Sorry,
I think
Chris.
Roman's retaining.
Keep cutting Chris off. What did you say, Chris?
I was just saying, my heart is telling me that Roman's retaining through tomfoolery. But I think it would be a shame for Drew not to get a big moment in the first pay-per-view in his home country in like, what?
Yeah, I hear you.
20 years. So,
Therefore.
yeah. But I do think Roman will win.
Who you got, Rob?
And going off of what you said, adding on to that, they are pushing this agenda and they're pushing this thing that like Roman is 730 days and he hasn't been pinned in 991 days. They just tweeted it earlier today, and it's just like I could see Drew getting a big moment, but unfortunately, very unfortunately, there have been rumors swirling over the past week, and PW Insider just reported today that Solo Sikoa is being called up. Or might be called up. So I see Solo Sikoa helping Roman Reigns retain the belt.
Yeah. It'll be a big pay-per-view. Obviously, the first UK pay-per-view in like 30 years. Big stadium show. Hopefully, the vibes are on point. It would be really... I think I'm leaning towards thinking Drew is actually going to pull it off. But we'll see what happens. Gunther versus Sheamus, that'll be amazing. Obviously, All Out, we spoke about throughout the podcast. That's going to be a great pay-per-view as well. NXT are doing a premium live event as well, which I'm sure will be like, it's the Worlds Collide thing, so there is a couple of nice matches on it. It'll be a nice warm-up for All Out on the day. But yeah, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at WrestlePurists, at WrestlePurists.com. Follow the guys, Rob, Chris, all over on Twitter, Backup Hangman, Manny. Man, appreciate all the super chats. I'm literally on 2% battery on my laptop and I'm not by my charger right now, so I do need to get out of here. But yeah, as always, even though we've had our technical difficulties and etc., AO doing a big no-show, he will be fined. We should be back. We should be back on Saturday, and yeah, man. Like I said, we'll be back on Saturday. Appreciate everyone tuning in, and yeah, man. Catch you guys on Saturday.